Good morning and welcome to the Seminole County Legislative Delegation meeting. This meeting is called to order at 9:01. I fell behind by 60 seconds. Everyone, please silence your cell phones and electronic devices. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Representative Plakin and then followed by the invocation by Representative Bankson. Everyone, please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this great day. Lord, we just ask for your blessing today. We ask for your presence. You said if we ask for wisdom, you will give it abundantly. Father, we ask for a civil place. We thank you, Father God, as we stand for the people's liberty. Lord God, that you give us your grace. And we ask for your blessing upon this day in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 Thank you. Senator Broder, may you please call the roll?
Sure. Chair Placencia.
Here.
Senator Broder, here. Representative Bankson.
Here.
Representative Plakin.
Here.
Representative Smith. Here. All present and accounted for, Madam Chair.
Excellent. Thank you, Senator. So next we're moving on to the election of delegation officers. Do I have a motion or nomination for a chair? First nomination. Yes, sir.
I'd like to nominate Representative Bankson.
Thank you. Excellent. Representative Bankson has been nominated for chairman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Congratulations, Representative Bankson. Does anyone have a nomination for vice chair?
I would like to nominate Representative Plakin.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Excellent. Representative Plakin has been nominated for vice chair. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All ayes have it. Congratulations, Representative Plakin.
Thank you.
Having selected our new officers, I turn the gavel over to our new chairman, Representative Bankson. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. And to keep moving along in time, as this is moving along the way here, this is, doing the people's business to me is something that is just absolutely, it's a privilege and an honor. It's something that's sacred. And so, today we want to move this along. We want to get people in and out of here. We do things right here in Seminole. And I thank those who have gone before to lay this down, so I will do my best to do that. Again, it's an honor to serve, and it's a privilege to do that. Thank you. All right. I want to welcome everyone to the meeting, and please grab a copy of your agenda. You can obtain a printed copy in the lobby area. As a reminder to those who will speak today that did not fill out a speaker form, please be sure to complete an appearance form if you have not done so yet. Please fill one out and hand it to my district aide, Ms. Madison Wagner, seated right down here, or Nicole, my legislative aide, and I'm not sure if she's right behind her there. I'd like to now recognize our elected officials in the room. So as I call your name, would you please give a parade wave to everyone? Commissioner Amy Lockhart from Seminole County. Where are you, Amy? Thank you. Mayor Kevin McCann, Winter Springs. Commissioner Sarah Baker from Winter Springs. Chairman Jay Zembauer, Seminole County.
Yay.
Also want to recognize Sheriff Dennis Lima. Supervisor Amy Pennock. Chair Karen Harriot. Superintendent Sarita Beeman, Seminole County Public Schools. Commissioner Jordan Smith, Tri-County League of Cities. And Commander Larry Kane, Oviedo Memorial, Post 243. And if there are any other elected officials who'd like to be recognized, please wave right here. Mark, thank you. School board right back here.
Yeah, our whole school board.
All right, the whole school board. Give the school board a hand. All right. Now let's ask for the delegation to go ahead and give their remarks this morning. Representative Placencia, would you start?
Thank you, Representative. My name is Susan Placencia. I represent District 37. In Seminole County, that's Oviedo, and I love Oviedo. Hopefully the mayor's in here somewhere. She usually likes to attend, but if not, then I know she's watching, as well as the citizens of Oviedo. I thank you all for being here, and it's my pleasure and honor to represent Seminole County in this delegation and Oviedo.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. And just a pleasure. I'm David Smith. I represent House District 38, which is entirely inside Seminole County. Pleasure to see so many people that I already have working relationships with to come out today and speak publicly on their issues as we prepare for the 2026 legislative session. So appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us today.
Excuse me, Senator Jason Broder. I have all of Seminole County and part of Orange. I have Maitland and Winter Park and some Orlando and unincorporated Orange down there. I'm going into my, I think, 13th or 14th session representing Seminole County. Went to Oviedo, went to high school, Jackson Heights Middle School, true Seminole County kid, so appreciate the opportunity to be here and continue to represent my home.
Thank you. I'm Rachel Plakin, and I represent Lake Mary, Geneva, North Winter Springs, and North Longwood, and Sanford. So welcome to District 36, and it's great to be here today. I love hearing from the public, whether or not we agree. It's a wonderful constitutional process, and I'm excited to be here today. So thank you for coming, and I do have my aides here if you need to get a card or some contact information to do a follow-up meeting. My aides are right there on the front row, so thank you so much for being here, and God bless.
And my name is Doug Bankson. I represent District 39, which is much of West Orange and east part of Seminole on the other side of I-4. It's a pleasure to be here, and I look forward to having a great meeting together. All right, the minutes for January 2025 meeting need to be approved. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
And is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay, the ayes have it. The January 2025 minutes have been approved. And now we're going to make just a little bit of a switch here just to make sure that we let our local officials be recognized and make sure that our sheriff is out there protecting us. We sure appreciate him. So we're going to move the next item agenda on the local bills because that might have take a little more time after we have our speakers come forward. So first of all, we'll go ahead and have Sheriff Dennis Lima.
Thank you so much, Chairman, and I am so grateful for all of you. Good morning, and again, thank you for the opportunity to be here with you all today to address the priorities of the Seminole County Sheriff's Office and policing professionals across the great state of Florida. I want to begin by expressing my sincere appreciation to each one of you. Each one of you have been steadfastly committed to lifting up policing. You support law enforcement, and we're grateful for that. I also want to thank you for the trust and partnership that you've shown to the Seminole County Sheriff's Office and me personally. It's good to have friends in positions. It truly makes a difference for those of us that are serving at the local level to know that we have a delegation that shares our commitment to keep this community safe and to modernize the laws to reflect that what we're seeing in this profession. Over the past year, your leadership directly has contributed to several significant accomplishments for our agency and for law enforcement across the state of Florida. I especially want to recognize Representative Bankson and Senator Jay Rodriguez for their sponsorship of Senate Bill 44, our license plate obscuring device bill. Again, that passed last session and was signed in by the governor. This legislation addressed a growing problem involving individuals who were using devices to conceal tags from cameras, from toll systems, and for law enforcement in general. And because of your support, we now have a stronger tool to hold offenders accountable and protect our roadways and keep them safe. I also want to thank Representative Plakin and Representative Bankson again for their work on our xylazine bill. Of course, although it did not kind of reach the finish line last legislative session, your hard work and commitment were instrumental, and we are ready to finish the job this legislative session. One of the areas that Seminole County continues to lead is statewide is how we approach the opioid epidemic and the mental health crisis that so often accompanies it. And with your help, particularly Representative Plakin and Senator Broder, we secured funding for the Advent Health Hope and Healing partnership that we have. Again, a public-private partnership that is undoubtedly transforming and saving lives. This center represents something much larger than just another facility. And as you know, it is a recognition that the path to safer communities must include addressing substance use disorder at its root, while also addressing the co-occurring mental health conditions that go along with it. And you've heard me repeat time and time again that as policing professionals, we cannot arrest our way out of addiction or a mental health problem. And true success comes when we treat the whole person, providing recovery support and creating pathways back to stability and sobriety. The Hope and Healing Center is doing exactly that, and it stands as a national model of what happens when government, healthcare, and law enforcement come together and work harmoniously. Thank you all for your continued support of this initiative and program and its ongoing success, which is indeed changing and saving lives right here in Seminole County. As we look ahead to the 26th legislative session, I am asking once again for your continued support, partnership, and collaboration, both for our local legislative priorities and those being advanced through the Florida Sheriff's Association. As most of you know, I'm honored to serve this year as president of the Florida Sheriff's Association, which represents every elected sheriff across the state of Florida. And that association has a long and rich history of working directly with legislative delegations just like yourself to strengthen laws, to support deputies and correctional officers, and to advance policies that protect the safety and rights of every Floridian. And that partnership between lawmakers and sheriffs is vital to the continued success of our state's public safety. I also want to personally thank you all for your leadership as a delegating and promoting public safety statewide, particularly through your work to enhance compensation for policing professionals like never before. The progress made over the past several years, including salary investments and recruitment incentives, has had a positive rippling effect, not just on our state officers, but also on local agencies, including those right here in Seminole County. And because of your support and advocacy, our profession is stronger, our agencies are better staffed, and morale has never been as high across the law enforcement communities here in the state of Florida than it is now. And thanks to that commitment, I can say confidently that there's never been a better time to serve as a peace officer in the state of Florida than this moment in time. This session, our top legislative priority will be strengthening laws to prosecute those who traffic xylazine, a dangerous drug often mixed with fentanyl that are killing people across the country. Representative Bankson will be filing that bill to add xylazine, a Schedule I controlled substance with no approved medical use for human consumption, to the state's trafficking statute, allowing prosecutors more tools to pursue stronger charges, aligning penalties with those with fentanyl, cocaine, and heroin, and establishing minimum mandatory sentences for those that are trafficking in based upon quantity. That will also carve out proper exemptions for licensed veterinarians who use xylazine in their work. Additionally, we will schedule the 7-OH substance, the substance that the Attorney General has temporarily classified under emergency rule in August. This is the stuff that you see in gas stations. This bill will give, again, law enforcement officers and prosecutors the ability to go after those preying on people struggling with addiction, the vulnerable population, people who are suffering, and the bad guys looking for an opportunity to profit. I've mentioned before that we have not seen significant cases of xylazine in Seminole County, but other parts of the states absolutely have. And what concerns us the most, that an opioid antagonist like Narcan are not effective reversing the overdose effects caused by xylazine. This is scary. In addition, Representative Plakin has filed House Bill 45, closing the loophole of our sex offender registry restriction by adding public swimming pools and public bathing places to the list of prohibited locations where sex offenders may reside. Seems like common sense. It ensures our families can ensure that they can enjoy public spaces safely without the fear of a predator close by. Representative Plakin is working with Senator McCain as a Senate sponsor, and we appreciate their leadership on this. Beyond these specific bills, We'll also continue to focus on issues relating to mental health, treatment, and prevention. In every community across the great state of Florida, law enforcement officers are seeing firsthand that many of the challenges that we respond to every day, from addiction to homelessness to domestic violence, are rooted in untreated or undertreated mental health conditions. That is one of the reasons why we must continue to prioritize policies and funding that expands behavioral health care services, crisis stabilization, and deflection programs, the type of initiatives that give people the help they need before they ever reach the point of arrest. This is not just a public health issue, it is a public safety issue, and one that we can solve when we work harmoniously together. Our Sheriff's Office Government Affairs Administrator, Bob Cortez, who does a fabulous job, and our entire team at the Sheriff's Office will continue to work closely with your offices and staff throughout the session to provide input, to share data, and to help craft language to ensure that our laws are practical, enforceable, and focused on outcomes that make a real difference for families throughout Seminole County and the state of Florida. So in closing, on behalf of the entire Seminole County Sheriff's Office and myself, I want to thank you for your ongoing service to the state, to our community, and to the people who we all proudly represent each and every day. Your leadership and partnership mean a great deal to every one of us. And together we are showing what is possible when collaboration, compassion, and courage guide our daily decisions. Thank you again for your time, your effort, your trust, and your unwavering commitment to public safety for the citizens of Seminole County and the citizens across the state of Florida. I think that history will look back on your work, your efforts, your advocacy, the time that you're putting in, and look favorably upon every one of you as you serve our great state. God bless you, and I appreciate the collaboration.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Sheriff. I just wanted to say thank you again for your partnership and how lucky we are in Seminole County to have you, and more importantly, Floridians are to have you as chair of the FSA coming in, the Florida Sheriff's Association. Want to let everybody know, in addition to keeping us safe, he's setting the standard statewide for what we do when we talk about things like xylazine. There's this ongoing effort by these clandestine chemists, as we outlaw fentanyl, they start changing molecules within the drug to get some kind of opioid-like effect without technically violating the law. So with the sheriff's help years ago, we banned nitazine, then we banned tianeptine. It's whack-a-mole. Every year the chemists find some new molecule to tack on, and now it's xylazine. The problem is, you can't reverse it anymore. They're starting to do things that, I mean, these are, as much as fentanyl and tianeptine and nitazine kill, xylazine's the next weird thing. And so thank you, Sheriff, to you and your team, and really statewide, you leading the sheriffs to look at what is the next iteration of danger for Floridians and protecting us from it before it becomes a crisis or an epidemic. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator, and we're so incredibly proud of your leadership and advocacy from day one. You've been on this and working side by side with us, as Representative Plakin as well. And I tell you, the DEA Administrator Terry Cole, the new President Trump appointed DEA Administrator, was at our office 3 weeks ago, and working to model the DEA's presence across the country based upon the collaboration and support that not only this delegation provides us, but our Board of County Commissioners, and all of the folks that work so hard to make sure that we're putting a model that is workable and that can be replicated in other areas. So again, none of this is possible without the work that you guys do each and every day, and I'm grateful.
We'll continue leading the country. Thank you, sir.
Yes, I echo those sentiments exactly. This is a model. This is a model, and we are very blessed to have him in Seminole. And because of the extended duties with FSA, we did move him to that top of the agenda so he can get out there and keep our community safe. So thank you again, Sheriff. We appreciate everything you do. All right, next we will ask for Jay Zembauer. Chairman Jay Zembauer, please come up and give your remarks.
Good morning, delegation. Once again, it's my privilege to welcome each and every one of you here to the County Services Building on behalf of the citizens of Seminole County and the Board of County Commission. As I alluded to earlier, be very careful of all the little levers on your seats, because there are multitudes of those, and some of them may end you left, right, fall on the floor. And come Tuesday at our Board of County Commission meeting, I'll have to listen to all the chatter about who messed with my chair. As county chairman, I'm representing the Board of County Commissioners and our more than 1,500 employees and nearly 500,000 residents here in Seminole County. As you know, the legislative decisions from Tallahassee significantly impact local governments. A growing trend is state preemption, limiting local government authority. The erosion of our local control challenges Seminole County's ability to manage growth, preserve community character, and respond to unique local needs. Our board and citizens respectfully request that Florida Legislature amend Senate Bill 180 to preserve local home rule. While we understand the intent of the bill is to streamline the rebuilding process to help our citizens reconstruct quickly during a storm event, the current provisions create unintended consequences that place a heavy burden on our local government and our taxpayers. Prohibiting local governments from adopting more restrictive or burdensome amendments to our comp plan and land development code prevent us from responding to new risks such as flooding from storm events, as we cannot update our rules in a timely manner. Land use and development regulations are key tools for us to shape growth, protect sensitive lands, and enhance resilience to disasters. The inability to adopt more stringent land use after a storm may prevent this community from redirecting growth or strengthening protections in areas vulnerable to flooding. This bill is a serious limitation to local home rule. As always, an ongoing and critical priority for our county is to protect the Seminole County's rural boundary and this board's ability to determine growth policy here at the local level. Housing affordability remains a critical concern as well statewide. We need flexible funding and less restrictive mandates to implement Seminole-appropriate housing solutions. As you know, communities near outstanding Florida springs are required to address septic systems by 2036. Seminole is on the front line of this program as we are home to Wekiva and Gemini Springs priority focus areas, which will require advanced septic systems or connections to central sewer. While we support the environmental protections, these new regulations offer Seminole County faces a variety of challenges, including a funding burden in the hundreds of millions to convert the 5,100 tanks here in Seminole County. Our county will benefit from additional state support and adjusted timeline to implement a successful septic to sewer program. Thank you for consideration and ongoing partnership. Again, I want to welcome you back to Seminole County government. Thank you for hosting this today. At Seminole County, as you know, we have a long history of collaboration with our state leaders, and we can't thank you all enough for that. It's why, and as the sheriff just showed and previewed, and you all have recognized, Seminole County really does set the bar for the state. You know, our citizens have come to experience a high quality of life here in Seminole County. That does not happen in a void. That happens because of leaders like yourself, leaders here at the local level, and we look forward to collaborating further in this next session so we ensure that that stays intact for our citizens. Thank you again, and God bless each and every one of you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. Next, we will have Supervisor Amy Pennock, followed by Chair Karen Harriott, Superintendent Sarita Beeman, and Commissioner Jordan Smith. And you're recognized.
Good morning. Good morning, Chair and members of Seminole County Legislative Delegation. Thank you for your time today and for your ongoing support for free, fair, and secure elections for the people of Seminole County and across the state, our great state. I'd also like to thank you for visiting our office and for your interest that you've shown in learning more about the work that we do every day to maintain voter confidence and election integrity. As you know, Florida is a national leader in election administration, and that reputation comes from the collaboration between Florida Supervisors of Election and our great legislature. The Florida Supervisors of Election have identified several key priorities for the upcoming 26th legislative session to strengthen our shared mission of security, transparency, and accessibility. For the purposes of today, I'm going to just highlight a few that will impact our constituents the most. However, you have been provided the list just now. Thank you so much, Madison. First, we are asking for you to support to require the Department of the HSMV to automatically transmit any new driver's license and ID information directly to our office as a change to the voter's registration. This change will ensure that the voter renews, that any voter, when they renew or replace a driver's license, the updated information is reflected immediately and accurately in the voter rolls, improving both accuracy and efficiency, particularly during petition verification and voting. Secondly, we seek clarification that when an inactive voter signs a petition, that signature constitutes as voter activity, and therefore the voter should be reclassified as an active voter. Currently, they remain inactive. This helps maintain more accurate voter rolls, voter records, and ensures that those who continue to participate in the civic process remain properly registered. Finally, we seek to add an affirmative notation to the vote-by-mail certificate envelopes that serve as a continuation request for future elections, provided the voter's identifying information has been verified. This will reduce confusion among voters who wish to continue to receive mail ballots and streamline costly administrative processes for elections, saving Seminole County taxpayer dollars. Each of these recommendations is practical, nonpartisan, and grounded in the experience of the Florida's 67 supervisors of elections who collectively administer elections for nearly 14 million registered voters. As you enter into your 26th session, I respectfully ask for your leadership and support on these initiatives. Together, we can continue to ensure Florida remains the national standard for secure, accurate, and accessible elections. Thank you again for your service and for the trust that you have placed in our offices to carry out this vital work for the people of Seminole County and the great state of Florida. And as I have said to each of you, please rely on us for any legislature regarding elections that come in front of you so that you can be most informed. Good luck and Godspeed during this year's session.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Next, we will recognize Chair Karen Harriet from Seminole Soil and Water. And forgive me if I mispronounced your name.
No, you did it just fine. Good morning, I'm Karen Harriet. I'm the chairman of the Seminole Soil and Water Conservation Board. And the first thing we would like you to know is that we are a very active board. Last month, we had our most recent meeting in Geneva, where we had a speaker who was the senior economist from Farm Credit, and he provided both timely and relevant information to our ag community. We are also one of the best-kept secrets in government. We are the only government entity that is allowed to work on private property. And to that end, the flyer that you have before you shows the priorities that the ag community have established for conservation in Seminole County, and highlighted is groundwater completion. So the ag producers, as well as other members of the community, recognize that we're pumping a lot of water out of the aquifer. And to that end, the Soil and Water Conservation Board can use a modified agricultural practice called the Mobile Irrigation Lab, and we can work with the heaviest water consumers to conserve our way back into a place where we're more in balance between the amount being recharged and the amount being pumped. So at the end of the day, I would like you to know that we are active, we are effective, and we have unique abilities to address this growing concern in Central Florida. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Superintendent Sarita Beeman, Seminole County Public Schools. You are recognized.
Thank you, and good morning. I'm Sarita Beeman, the proud superintendent of Seminole County Public Schools, your A-rated, academically high-performing #1 school district in Central Florida. And you are correct, we have a quorum here today. We have our chair, Christine Krause, Vice Chair Autumn Garrick, and Member Abby Sanchez. I'm here today to thank you. Thank you for your continued support of our students, especially your advocacy for maintaining level funding for advanced coursework in AP, IB, dual enrollment, and CTE programs, and for championing local control over school start times. Your efforts have made a meaningful difference here, including the $500,000 appropriation for Lyman High School's Academy of Engineering, championed by Senator Broder and Representative Plakin, which is helping right now to to modernize our CTE programs and expand student opportunities. This year, we respectfully ask for your support in advocating for 3 key areas. One, in the area of early childhood access. We ask that you support a $3.5 million request in infrastructure funding and $650,000 for equipment to renovate the old Midway Elementary School, which has not been in use as a school since 2011, and turn it into an early childhood center that serves all areas of our community. This investment would expand access to high-quality early childhood education and, we believe, drive student success forward. The second area is in the middle school STEM exploration area. We request that you advocate for the reallocation of existing state funds. They're currently designated for computer science certification and teacher bonuses to support middle school STEM career exploration. Here in Seminole County, we have exceeded the certification needs with many of our educators no longer eligible for those state bonuses. By redirecting a portion of those funds to expand middle school STEM exploration, we believe it will allow us to engage our students earlier and to build that pipeline, the workforce pipeline here in Seminole County. And finally, in the area of teacher compensation flexibility, we ask that you support the removal of restrictive language in Section 101222 Florida statutes to allow districts greater flexibility to collectively bargain and offer cost of living adjustments and recognizing years of service in teacher compensation. That change would help us to recruit and retain the high-quality educators that our students deserve. So again, thank you so much for your continued partnership and for championing always, we know, the needs of all children, but specifically the children of Seminole County. Thank you.
Any questions? Superintendent, I just wanted to say thank you for what you're doing. Again, Seminole is setting a standard. Thank you to all those that have come. And it was my privilege to actually, one of my first bills was increasing the IB pay for our teachers. So it's just exciting to see that. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we have Commissioner Jordan Smith, Tri-County League of Cities. And you are recognized, sir.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Delegation, Jordan Smith, Commissioner of Lake Mary, President of the Tri-County League of Cities. Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to be here today. On behalf of the Tri-County League of Cities, which represents municipalities across Seminole, Orange, and Osceola counties, I want to begin by expressing our appreciation for the work you do on behalf of Floridians. We know the challenges you face in Tallahassee are complex, and the decisions you make have a direct impact on the people we all serve. As local officials, we are on the front lines of those same challenges every day. Our residents call us directly about their concerns, whether it's local services, infrastructure, growth, or how legislative changes may affect their daily lives. That firsthand connection gives us a unique perspective that we hope can serve as resources as you consider policy decisions in this year ahead. The Tri-County League of Cities is not here simply to present problems. We come ready to share solutions, data, and real-world experience from our communities. Our goal is to make your work easier by providing local insight and helping ensure that state policy is practical and effective at the local level. To strengthen that collaboration, the League has developed an advocacy team whose purpose is to work with our legislative partners, not in opposition, to facilitate thoughtful, constructive solutions. We believe that by maintaining open communication and mutual respect, we can address challenges in ways that serve all Floridians. This session, we look forward to partnering with you to issues that affect our cities, whether it's growth management, infrastructure funding, or protecting our principles of home rule. Together, we can find solutions that are fiscally responsible, strengthen our communities, and reflect the priorities of the people we all serve. We are committed to being strong partners and reliable resources because when you succeed, our communities succeed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And finally, we have Commander Larry Kane, Oviedo Memorial Post 243. Would you please come and address us, and thank you again for all that you do. And sir, you are recognized.
Good morning, delegation. I'm Larry Kane, the commander of Oviedo Memorial Post 243, American Legion, Department of Florida. I'm here today requesting your support of our grant application, which we are submitting to the House and Senate to help us complete the expansion of our post. Oviedo Memorial Post was founded in 1946, honoring 4 local men who made the ultimate sacrifice in World War II. Since 1957, our post has operated at its current location next to Oviedo High School in a building constructed by our own members. We're a self-supporting post. Unlike many veteran organizations where a bar or restaurant is central, we are proud to be a dry post. We do not sell alcohol or food. We rely purely on the support of our members and generous donations from our community. Our mission is simple. We serve veterans, not alcohol. Our commitment to safe, family-friendly environment has contributed to a remarkable growth over the past 8 years. Our membership has tripled from 100 members to 300, and we've outgrown our current facility. Veterans are increasingly seeking a safe, welcoming place to gather with their families and fellow veterans. I'd like now to highlight some of the ongoing support and activities for both the veterans and our community. Veteran support. Twice a month, we provide one-on-one meetings with the Seminole County Veteran Service Officer. We have our own post-service officer who supports the veterans in the challenges they have coming back into civilian life. We support suicide and PTSD prevention programs, doing walks to make people more aware. Homeless veterans, especially female homeless veterans, that is the most active activity right now that people just don't know anything about. Outreach to veterans in senior living facilities. We go out actively and support. We make sure those veterans know they're not forgotten. We provide honor guard for funerals and memorials. We are a charter member of the Seminole County Veteran Advisory Board. From a community standpoint, we participate in local parades and civic events, civic education, flag retirements, school medal awards, and oratorical contests. We sponsor Boys and Girls States representatives, promote community awareness, and present Americanism Awards. And as you may know, every Memorial Day, we honor those that have lost their lives since 9/11 at the Florida's Fallen Memorial at the Oviedo Cemetery. Facility use, we provide free meeting space for our scouts and youth groups, annual recognitions of our first responders, and we support regular blood drives. So in conclusion, for the last couple of years, we've been working to raise funds to enlarge our building, but we now need additional help. We have applied for matching grants from both the Florida House and Florida Senate, and a successful grant award will allow us to serve even more veterans and continue our positive impact in the community. I thank you for your support.
Thank you. Thank you for your service. We do have a question. Representative Clayton, or Placencia, you're recognized.
Yeah, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Have you spoken to anyone about who's going to run the appropriation for you, what you're requesting?
We have sent David Smith and Jason Brodauer, the 2 representatives, and you.
Is that your appropriation, sir?
Yes, it is.
You have my full support.
Yes.
Thank you. And as Larry, just, if I may, Chair, just as a life member of the American Legion and a member of Post 243, I'm really pleased to see you here today, early in the process, so many people in the audience could hear what the American Legion Post is doing. Because I think there's a lot of folks really don't realize the full spectrum of support that the American Legion provides in our community right here in Seminole County. And you're doing great work, and the outreach to prevent isolation of veterans, aging veterans in particular, is reducing our suicides, reducing and adding quality of life to people that most people would never know it's a problem right here in our community. So thank you for everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Representative Plaken, you're recognized.
I just want to thank you as well for your service. And as the daughter and grandfather of military veterans, I've done a lot of work on this too, and you have my full support as well.
And I can echo that as well. Thank you. All right, now we'll pivot back to the local bills. There was something that came to our office, miscommunication, but it will be Representative Plaken that will be presenting the bill. It'll take 5 minutes to do so. Then we have speakers who will take 2 minutes each on that. We want to move this forward. We know this is something that's very important to the city of Winter Springs. We want to make sure that it's heard clearly, and then we can move forward with that. So Representative Plaken, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This Winter Springs Charter Amendment will modernize the city's governance by making the mayor a full voting member of the city commission while maintaining a 5-member body. This amendment makes the mayor a voting member on all matters, maintains no new positions or costs, eliminates the outdated veto power, ensuring decisions are made by majority vote, places the proposal before the voters in the 2026 general election for final approval. It improves accountability, eliminates confusion, reflects modern standards. It will align Winter Springs with other Seminole County cities and current governance models. And I want to point out this reform is in response to the legislature's Joint Legislative Auditing Committee findings and is simply one step forward towards solving these issues. That is the bill, Mr. Chair.
All right, and I'd like to invite City of Winter Springs Mayor Kevin McCann. Please come forward. And you are recognized. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And so I'll get right to it. 2 minutes here. Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to speak and the work that you do. I am Kevin McCann, and it's been the honor of my life to serve as the mayor of the city of Winter Springs. This bill and correspondence and outline an intent to change our city's governance by making the mayor a voting member of the commission and placing the question before the voters in November of 2026. I have no problem with on principle. Discussing the charter that has served our community since 1959, let me just be very clear. I have no issue abiding by the wishes of our residents regarding the role of mayor while providing the residents the final say. That said, the City Commission is already preparing to discuss forming a charter review committee, which I fully support. That process allows our residents, and not Tallahassee, to evaluate and recommend any charter changes from that charter, again, that's been in place since 1959. What happens if that committee, after public meetings and deliberation, does not recommend this change? Or if the proposal goes before voters and they reject it at the ballot box? What then? Will those outcomes be respected, or will our community face another wave of political attacks by special interests such as Mr. Phillips, simply for exercising its right to self-govern? At some point, we must all agree to respect the will of the people, whether they vote yes or no, without a gun to our head. Winter Springs is not dysfunctional. We are financially sound, transparent, and we're thriving. We hold a AA+ bond rating, a AAA bond default rating. We have one of the lowest tax rates in the 9 counties that make up Central Florida, top-ranked schools, and one of the lowest crime rates in the state. We are an example of good local governance that works. So in closing, I respectfully thank this delegation and the residents listening today for standing up for home rule, for standing up against political insiders or special interests, and stand with the people of Winter Springs. Our residents have earned the right to decide their own future, free from outside interference, and once they have spoken, they deserve the dignity of being heard. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Next, City of Winter Springs, Commissioner Mark Caruso. You are recognized.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, delegation. Recently, a bill has been proposed at the state level that would change our local city charter and how it's structured. I want to be very clear. This is not about whether I agree or disagree with our mayor's role. This is about where that decision should be made. I don't believe the state should step in and tell us what our city's mayor's role should be. That's a decision for you, the residents who live here, vote here, and care about this community every day. We already have a fair local process in place to make changes to our city charter. If residents want an amendment, the commission can vote to place it on the ballot in an upcoming election. Then it takes 60% of voters to approve it. That's the right way. Your voice, your vote, your city. So far, not one resident has come to me requesting a charter change or a meeting to discuss adding one to the ballot. I haven't seen petitions, polls, or any local effort calling for this. When a bill like this is filed at the state level, it takes your voice out of the equation and hands power to the people who don't live here and don't represent our community. That's not right. It's government overreach, and it's a direct attack on home rule and local control. Values that should always start and end right here at home in our beautiful city of Winter Springs. And with that being said, I thank you for your time. God bless Seminole County, God bless our law enforcement, and especially state corrections and probations officers. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have City of Winter Springs, Sarah Baker. And you are recognized.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for taking the time to let me speak on this proposed change to our charter in Winter Springs. One of the first things I noted during my orientation when I was first elected is that our charter had not gone under a review for about 15 years, when it's typical that a charter does go under review for about every 10 years. A charter review, things that are typically looked at are changes that need to be made to meet technology changes or new information and best practices outlined by the Florida League of Cities. Forming a charter review committee has been a priority of mine. A small group of locally loud voices have approached you to intervene and make changes to our charter without referendum and a clear disregard of home rule powers granted by the Florida Constitution, and more important, the voices of our community. Article 8, Section 2B of the Florida Constitution grants municipalities the right to govern local affairs through their own charters without legislative interference. Under Chapter 166, Florida statutes, the Municipal Home Rule Act, cities have the power to amend their charter by local referendum unless otherwise prohibited by law. While the legislature can technically amend a charter by special act, doing so bypasses the will of our local electorate and undermines the local self-governments, the foundation of home rule. The legislative packet itself acknowledges this, but misinterprets as clear authority. Authority does not equal appropriateness. Home rule was explicitly designed to prevent Tallahassee from overriding local will. I will be remiss to not mention that this is not a simple charter change. A local group has made it clear that the goal is for Jesse Phillips to run for mayor and to stack the deck, and that this charter change enacted will bypass community and pass future charter changes by commission vote, withholding it from a referendum, to create a strong mayor, which he has been very vocal about wanting to have for our city. This is an inappropriate use for power, deceiving personal goal, and a political move. I truly hope that the integrity of this delegation cannot be a part of that. Thank you.
If you can hang on just a second,
Yes.
we have, you're recognized, Representative Baker.
Thank you. Thank you for being here today. I just want to point out that the bill does put it on a referendum in the 2026 election.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And finally, we have former Winter Springs Commissioner Ken Greenberg. Thank you. You are recognized.
Good morning, Chair and members of the delegation. My name is Ken Greenberg, and I serve as the president of the Winter Springs Community Association, which represents residents across their city and are committed to restoring accountability, effective leadership, and local government. Additionally, I formerly served as a Winter Springs commissioner as well. I want to briefly share with you the results of our most recent citywide survey on the proposed charter reform. I believe you have a copy of it up there as well. A reform that would establish a 5-member city commission, including a voting mayor, and eliminate the mayor's veto power. In short, the results were overwhelmingly, and out of approximately 450 respondents, 97% supported the proposed reform, while only 3% favored keeping the current system. That level of consensus is virtually unheard of in local government issues. For context, a similar survey conducted in 2021 found that only 83% supported the same change. In 4 years, that number has climbed to over 97%. As residents have witnessed repeated dysfunction, financial mismanagement, and public frustration under the current system. The message from the community is clear. What was once a reform idea has become a public demand. We also asked residents how they believe this reform should occur. Most residents stated they did not care, they simply want it done. There is deep recognition among the residents that this system, as it stands, cannot fix itself. As you know, Winter Springs operates under a structure unlike any other small city in our region. A mayor that does not vote, yet holds a veto over those that do. It has created gridlock, blurred accountability, and eroded public trust. Every small city in Seminole County, such as Lake Mary, Longwood, Oviedo, has a mayor who votes alongside their commissioners. It is time for Winter Springs to catch up. Back in mid-2021...
Thank you. We need to land that plane so we can keep moving forward.
Okay, just give me a quick thing. I'll speed up what I was basically going to say. Back in mid-21, Commission brought up changing to a 5-person commission, and even announced they were going to hold a workshop, canceled that workshop, and nothing has been done since then. Basically, candidly...
So we need you to go ahead and land that plane, just to be fair to the other speakers as well.
Okay. I don't trust this commission to put this on the ballot in and by itself. This has been discussed for years and tabled for years. So with that, I will cut my words short, and thank you for your leadership in helping for good governments, and thank you for what you do for the community.
Thank you, sir. We'll now bring it back to the delegation for discussion. Do we have questions, comments?
I'll go first. So when you're in the legislature, one of the most frequent conversations I have with my colleagues is, why is it that 50 of 52 weeks a year there's a local election somewhere in Florida? We have 411 municipalities, and everybody does something different, and everybody makes the claim that it's because they're special, and we remind them, you are special, just like everyone else. And so people come up and they say, well, we have a problem with our community, and the mayor said this. And the first thing we have to ask is, well, where are you from? Because what your mayor can do is different everywhere in Florida. Florida basically has 4 different structures for mayor, right? You got strong mayor, you got weak mayor, you got commissioner-manager structure, which is what Winter Springs is, and then you have a full commission structure where commissioners actually run independent departments. Very uncommon, very small communities. But then when you get within commission-manager structures, you have to read their charter, because in some municipalities, like Winter Springs, your mayor doesn't actually vote, they only have veto power, and it allows them the ability to say, on popular things, I'm the mayor and I led, and then on unpopular things, say, I never voted for that. We can't do that in the legislature, and so communities the size of Winter Springs and maybe a little bigger, not as big as Jacksonville, which has a strong mayor and is probably the best example in Florida of a strong mayor structure with a true executive branch, not appropriate for Winter Springs. I think this is, most notably because we amended it to include that it goes to referendum. And so if you're opposed to this, it just means you don't like civic participation from the community members in which you're governing. If we could get rid of constitutional amendments, I'd love it, for anything outside of structure of government. This is structure of government. This is the most appropriate way of doing it. I wouldn't like it if the feds come in and told the state what they should be doing statutorily, like how many people should be on our Supreme Court in the state of Florida. That's why we have our own constitution. The city has their own charter for the same reason, and the way we amend it at the state is the way we are suggesting we amend it at the city, which is by referendum. And so all this says is, if you want to look like some of the other places in Florida and be able to govern in a way that's extremely similar to everywhere else, put it to the voters. Maybe it passes, maybe it fails. But the people upon whom you are governing, just like at the state level, should have the ability to put this to a vote.
Thank you, Senator. Yes, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. And just to remind people on the dais and in the audience, I live in Winter Springs. I have represented Winter Springs for 7 years, and we've heard some polling numbers thrown out. Not in 7 years has anyone ever emailed me, called my office, stopped me in Publix, and said, hey, you need to change the charter of this city. So again, I'm out there and available. This is not a burning issue of the people or somebody. In 7 years, one person would have said something, right? Common sense. But no one has brought this up. This is being driven as a special interest. And although I kind of like the bill, as Senator Broder pointed out, in different forms of government, I think a voting mayor is good. But I don't think Tallahassee has any business telling any municipality to change their form of government. You've heard people talk from Jay Zembauer to Sarita Beeman and talking about local control, about home rule, which is in our state constitution. I think we have, this is overreach of a classic example. And I know people out there listening, scratch out Winter Springs and write in your city's name. See if you want somebody from Tallahassee telling you how to change your government. I think it's inappropriate. I think this is trumped up. But we've made a point, and Representative Plakin has made her point. The mayor's on notice. The city commissioners are on notice. The people now, thanks to media coverage, have a lot more attention on this. And again, I would then respectfully ask that the member withdraw the local bill for consideration and give this to the people of Winter Springs to execute their plan. And they can put it on a referendum. This is already, a charter review issue is already on Winter Springs' agenda for next Monday. So let the citizens of Winter Springs execute this. Put it on their ballot, vote in 26 or whenever, and then execute a change if that's what they want. This is an overreach of home rule. Tallahassee has no business getting in this municipality's business. But I think it's a good bill. But again, I would respectfully ask the member to withdraw the local bill.
Thank you, Representative Plakin. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I appreciate Representative Smith's comments. He's a respectable member. I will not be withdrawing the bill today. But I do hope that the city will do the right thing. And I have represented part of Winter Springs since 2022. And I do know that some of my constituents are very concerned about this, about some of the issues that are going on. And this is just one step forward in solving these issues. So I thank you today for your support.
Thank you. Representative Placencia.
Thank you. So I have a question for Representative Plakin. I think it's more of a clarification question because as I listen to the public speaking, I just want this clarified. What this bill does, and by and large, I think the members have spoken to it, but what the bill does, is it a mandate for Winter Springs, or is it something that's being placed on the ballot for Winter Springs to decide for themselves?
You're recognized.
It is something, thank you, Mr. Chair, it is something that is being placed on the ballot for the people of Winter Springs to decide.
Thank you.
Thank you. And so as well, initially when I heard about this, I was opposed to the idea because it felt like an overreach. We're not there to try and tell the local communities what to do. As Commissioner Smith, or Representative Smith has said, as this has turned out with this amendment, it does put this back to the voters. I think that's the most important thing. The things that have been presented to us, that there have been some underlying issues that there are those who are concerned about, that, again, we get some last-minute polling and information, but we have to go based upon the data that we have. Based upon that, this gives the voters the say, and that is the bottom line to me. These are your seats. It is your voice. And so by passing this, this simply makes sure that the President Commission will move this forward, and they've already said that they will. We believe that, that this has caused a good conversation, that it will be very healthy for a truly successful city. For that reason, that moved the needle for me to make sure, as long as the end result is the people will have their say. So this will go, and this is my understanding, that this will go to referendum. This is not the state telling you this is the form you will have. It is simply saying you need to address this because there are issues that different ones have said, and that it will result in the people will have their say. When this is said and done, if you like it exactly how it is, it will stay exactly how it is. If it gives the opportunity for that communication and that conversation to be heard. So with that, I'd like to, we actually have, at 7:30, I was given information that we need to make a motion. Thank you, Victor, wherever you are. He's our rules guru right here. That we need to make a motion to waive the rule of the three-quarter vote for the delegation.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to waive the rules to take this to a vote.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, let's take this to a vote. Let's do roll call vote. Representative Placencia.
Yes.
Representative Smith.
No.
Senator Broder.
Yes.
Representative Plakin.
Yes.
And I'm a yes. And so this is moved forward. Now let us go forward to the public. Let me get back to my notes here. Public testimony.
If I could, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
So mechanically, what we just did, just so everybody knows, is that we are promoting forward the local bill as amended to go forward with the legislative process. Local bills work very differently from regular general bills that we would do. This now resides specifically in the House of Representatives, and it will move like a regular bill. It'll get referenced, it'll get heard, it can get amended, that sort of thing, which gives us a ton of time. We don't go to session until January. So between now and then, the city of Winter Springs can move in a parallel path and do what they'd like to do in order to move forward. Should they decide to do this themselves, at any time, this bill can be withdrawn. And ultimately, after it gets through the House, it gets sent over to the Senate at the end of session, and with one vote, it can also get defeated and withdrawn. And so should the city of Winter Springs, as promised, do everything that they said they want to do a charter review, all that kind of stuff, at any time between now and the end of session, which is the second week of March, it can get withdrawn and pulled back. And so that's all we've done is advance this forward today to be considered for the next legislative session. So nothing changes, and I would encourage the city of Winter Springs to continue on their path as well, because should they continue in the way that they've suggested, then this just goes away.
All right, thank you, Senator.
Sure.
We will now proceed with public testimony. We are doing well on time. We wanted to make sure that there is time for each speaker. We'll have to limit that time to 1.5 minutes, a minute and a half each. If you can adjust that to make sure we have 51 speakers, and then those who have signed this morning. So we want to make sure and give that time. Remember, I'm not being a mean guy. The bottom line is if you're speaking long, you're taking away from someone who's following you. So let's be respectful of one another, and we do have one of your recommendations.
Mr. Chairman, one more housekeeping caveat. Delegation meetings are a holdover from before the internet, and so for those of you who feel like a minute and a half is not enough time, email, call, go on Facebook, go on Instagram, go on X. You can get a hold of us at any time of day or night. People are getting a hold of me right this minute. And so if you feel like you are shortchanged with your minute and a half, call later today. It's fine. We're all around. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And I lost my page here. Give me just a moment. And I will recognize Dr. Georgia Lorenz from Seminole State College. You are recognized.
Thank you. Good morning. I'd like to begin by acknowledging Trustee Lockhart, who is here today, one of our outstanding members of our Board of Trustees. And I'd like to begin by thanking each of you for your consistent and enthusiastic support for Seminole State and our students. Seminole State is your learning partner for career success. That is our guiding strategy to effectively serve our students. Two examples of our outcomes and success include the third quarter of the 2025 nursing students achieved a 97% 97% first-time pass rate on the NCLEX exam. And in September, we were notified that Seminole State has been designated a National Center for Academic Excellence in Cyber Defense. This year, to continue to grow opportunities for students and to meet regional workforce needs, our top priority as a college continues to be Building B at our Altamont Springs campus, which will allow us to double our nursing program and expand other healthcare programs to meet workforce needs. I want to thank Senator Broder and Representative Smith for once again carrying the project, and I thank all of you for your support for this really critical project. As the chair of the Council of Presidents, I also want to share the Florida College System legislative budget request. We are 100% in alignment with the Department of Education, requesting $70 million in new recurring operating funds, which will reap big benefits for Seminole State, as well as Valencia College, which I know some of you represent, and our system as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you. And as a point of order, Representative Plasencia pointed out that we do need to vote to approve the local bill.
Oh.
And I'm sorry.
No problem.
Did we have any questions for our speaker?
Dr. Lorenz is another statewide leader right here out of Seminole County, so thank you very much for your leadership. And our NCLEX, the nursing pass rate, is among the top in the state of Florida, and so it really necessitates and warrants for the expansion of what we're doing here to alleviate a lot of the healthcare strain that we have on access and cost. And so thanks for what you're doing, and it's great to have another place that we're leading the state. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. All right, and now we will make sure that we cover our bases here. We need to vote to approve the local bill. We have voted to waive the rules. So let's make sure and do that. So based upon the local bill that was presented, again, roll call vote. Representative Plasencia.
Yes.
Representative Smith.
No.
Senator Broder.
Yes.
Representative Plaken.
Yes.
And I'm a yes. The yeses have it. All right, moving forward, University of Central Florida, Fred Kittinger. You are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning to each of you. I bring you greetings and thanks from our UCF Board of Trustees, President Cartwright, our faculty, our staff, and most importantly, our 78,000 students, of which 5,000 of those students come from Seminole County, and we have over 42,000 of our alumni that are living, residing, and raising their families here in Seminole County. UCF is proud to thank you for state support and also with the industry support, because with the two combined, we have remained true to our focus of solidifying UCF in its position as Florida's premier engineering and technology university. We're increasing our impact in Florida's economy through critical areas such as AI, aerospace, semiconductors, advanced manufacturing, and healthcare technology. We are beyond excited about our 2026 funding request, including preeminence funding for the state's newest preeminent funding state research university. We achieved those metrics just recently for this designation, and we could not and would not have done that without your support. We'll continue to invest these funds into UCF's growing footprint in engineering, computing, and high-tech disciplines. We're preparing the workforce for Florida's workforce in technology today. Our focus will continue to look at things such as deploying technology for more effectively treating PTSD, fighting human trafficking, training our military, and preparing our nurses for the future. By any designation, the state is receiving a huge ROI on your investment. We're cranking out 18,000 graduates a year for Florida's future workforce. We know and respect the state's reducing its current spending, but we also know that investing in Seminole State College and UCF has a tremendous ROI for the state of Florida. Thanks for your time and the effort that you give to Florida citizens. We look forward to working with you this spring.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fred.
All right, our next speaker is Candace Brascom, followed by Phil Scarpelli and Carla Rodka. If you can please line up.
Mr. Chair, delegation members, good morning. My name is Candace Brascom. I'm a managing attorney for the statewide Guardian Ad Litem office here in the 18th Circuit, including Seminole County. The Guardian's Ad Litem signed by the Florida Guardian Ad Litem office represents Florida's abused, neglected, and abandoned children in both court and in the community. They are appointed by a judge after a child enters the dependency system. Our legal representation protects and advances the rights of children whose age or circumstances prevent them from making decisions by themselves and for themselves. We consider each child's physical safety, emotional well-being, and permanent placement in a stable, nurturing home where that child can thrive. In 2024, our office represented 31,622 children across Florida. Last year was the first time in our office's history that we had sufficient resources to have every child in Florida represented by a guardian ad litem in the dependency system. Looking forward to the upcoming legislative session, we respectfully request your continued support in two key areas. Our staff salaries have not kept pace with those at comparable state agencies, and we are increasingly challenged by staff being recruited elsewhere. We are doing everything possible to retain experienced, mission-driven professionals and continue to deliver high-quality legal representation of Florida's children. Just briefly, we are also asking increased budget authority to allow our office to draw down additional federal Title IV funds. This would help us to offset state costs as well. Thank you again for your time and for your service. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Next, Phil Scarpelli. You are recognized, sir. Family Partnership of Central Florida.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and good morning to you all. Thank you for the very hard roles you all assume. I can only imagine a day in the life. Phil Scarpelli, I'm President and CEO of Family Partnerships of Central Florida, your lead agency for child protection here in Central Florida. I have nothing to ask, but only to say thank you. Thank you all for your support in making children a priority here in the state. We've been, believe it or not, blown away by a year and a half now since our transition, and I'm here to tell you that we've stabilized a workforce, we've reunited a community, and we are working diligently to work on the issue of child abuse of prevention by working furthermore upstream in preventing children and families from being involved in the formal system, but rather in very rich diversion and prevention programs. You know, you all helped us last year when we came out of the gate with back of the bill and transition funds. When you can help us with funding things, what happens is leadership has to focus on system issues and community relations, and we did so very, very successfully. There are more kids that are having permanency at a shorter duration here in our county, largely because of the partnerships that we share with other agencies who provide very critical services. And as you've heard from many speakers before, drugs and mental illness really plague many of our families. We are going to continue to champion this. I want to thank you for your support. And I guess my time's up. But thank you so much again.
Thank you. Next, we have Carla Radka with Senior Resource Alliance. Following her will be Kathy Sverdlow, Stephanie Palacios, and Daniel Venegas. If you could line up. You are recognized.
Good morning. It is a pleasure to be here this morning to be able to thank you for all the work that you have done to support seniors in Seminole County. We are very proud of the services that we provide in partnership with our network of providers, Meals on Wheels, Rescue Mission, organizations that provide meals every day, and organizations that support seniors that are extremely vulnerable because of housing. I want to thank you for everything that you do for the Area Agency on Aging of Central Florida that cover this wonderful county, and ask for your continued support because the work is plenty to be able to continue to provide services that are safety nets so seniors can age in place in our community where they have volunteer, where they have work. Evidence tells us the seniors do so much better when they are aging in place around family and what is familiar. And that's the main intention of our organization and of our provider network. So please continue to support our programs that put food in the table of seniors, that put healthcare and preventing programs like the ones to prevent falls and chronic diseases, and all with the support of the state funding and all in support of all the work that you do in Tallahassee. Thank you again from the bottom of our hearts, and we hope to see you out there on the field delivering meals. Some of you have already done that, especially around the holidays. You're welcome to continue to do so. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we actually had a speaker put in their information, but it went to the wrong email. And so, Stephanie, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask that Advent Health, Jeff Villanueva. Yes, thank you so much. Go ahead and please come and speak, and I apologize for that.
Well, good morning. Thank you for this opportunity, and good morning. Thank you for allowing me to address the Seminole County delegation. At Advent Health, we are honored to care for your constituents through our Seminole County Hospital and Access Points. Established in 1973 as the first satellite campus of the former Florida hospital system, it has grown into a cornerstone of Advent Health, known for delivering high-quality, whole-person care. The hospital's continued growth includes the addition of a dedicated spine and orthopedic inpatient unit, state-of-the-art operating rooms, and the newly expanded baby place, delivering over 2,000 babies to better serve the needs of our growing community. In addition to caring for the community at Advent Health Altamont Springs, we are privileged to serve Seminole County residents at our Lake Mary and Oviedo ERs. And to further expand access to emergency care, we just opened another emergency room right here in the city of Sanford, bringing high-quality emergency services closer to home for northern Seminole County. Our commitment to excellence was recently recognized when U.S. News & World Report named Advent Health the #1 hospital in the state of Florida and among the 20 top hospitals in the nation. That's the top 1% of hospitals in the country. Everything we do to provide whole-person care to our neighbors and communities. As a leading not-for-profit healthcare system, our whole impact extends across Florida beyond the more than 5.2 million people we care for annually. For instance, Advent Health plays a major role in the local and state economy, and a recent study found that statewide economic impact is more than $16 billion.
And we do need you to land that plane. Thank you.
For every job we create at Advent Health, another is added to the Florida economy. Thank you so much for your time.
Again, we're so thankful for what Advent Health does for our entire area and region. Thank you. And Kathy, please come forward. Kathy Sverdlow, League of Women Voters, Seminole County, you are recognized.
Thank you. The League of Women Voters is an over 100-year-old organization. We are nonpartisan and involved with promoting community involvement, focusing on voting and elections. Simply stated, we seek to empower voters and defend democracy. We're here today with 3 asks. 1, we ask that you say no to mid-cycle redistricting. Floridians have made it abundantly clear that they don't want political districts drawn with partisan intent. In 2010, with the passage of the Fair District Amendments, partisan gerrymander was made unconstitutional in Florida, and legislators have a responsibility to uphold the Constitution and the clear standards it provides. Redrawing districts in the middle of the decade on partisan grounds without new census data defies the will of the people and undermines that Florida state constitution. We ask that you say no to any bills that make it harder to register or to vote. We urge that specifically you not go with a requiring documentary proof of citizenship, as this creates unnecessary and undue burden on many citizens and will result in voter suppression while doing nothing to impact the already negligible number of fraudulent votes. And we ask that you say yes to fully funding the elections administration, both at the state level and at the supervisor of election level, so that there are the necessary resources to run fair, secure, and efficient elections. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kathy. We are back on track. Stephanie Palacios with Second Harvest Food Bank, you are recognized.
Good morning. I want to thank you all for your help in the past couple sessions. First of all, I want to thank Representative Placencia for sponsoring our appropriation 2 sessions in a row. The first year that this was funded, we were able to distribute an additional 3.5 million meals with Representative Placencia's help. And last session, with the help of Representative Placencia and Senator Truenow, we were able to get additional funding. This past session, we were the recipient of some funds through the expanded effort in Farmers Feeding Florida. This was an effort that Senator Broder worked very closely on, and currently we are working with Florida Agriculture to source additional protein, dairy, and produce. Right now, in the first quarter, we've increased our partnerships with Florida Ag about 40%. So last year, Second Harvest distributed over 36 million pounds of produce, and that was 75% Florida grown. And we anticipate, with the legislature's support and the leadership of Senator Broder and Senator Albritton and Commissioner Simpson, that this is going to increase this upcoming year. I would ask that you all support continued expansion of Farmers Feeding Florida this session and support food banks throughout the state. We are seeing seeing an increased need right now, and we are seeing that tick up day to day. And I look forward to seeing y'all in the next few weeks.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Daniel Venegas, followed by Greg Frazier, Sean Lazard, and J.J. Holmes. And we do have St. Nicholas has just joined us back there. I hope you brought gifts for everyone. So, thank you, Daniel. You're recognized.
Good morning to the delegation. Can I also point out that I appreciate that a pilot is asking us to land the plane. So putting that out there. Good morning. My name is Daniel Venegas. I represent Heart of Florida United Way. We're the United Way that represents Orange, Osceola, and Seminole counties. Thank you. First, let me start by saying thank you to Rep. Plakin and Senator Broder for carrying our appropriation last year with Seminole State. This year, I'm really here to, on behalf of the United Way Florida Network and United Way of Florida, to first thank Representative David Smith. He will be carrying our appropriation for our volunteer income tax assistance program. If you're not familiar, that's free tax preparation. Last year, our United Way prepared 3,300 tax reports here in the state and the area. That came out to around $3 million. 2 years ago, the state put in money for this program, and we brought in about $76 million statewide on this program. So we would ask for your support. This would impact 28 United Ways across the state of Florida, and we're really excited for it. And as I said, it would be carried by Representative Smith in the House and Senator Bradley. If you have any questions, I'm here to help, and thank you for everything you guys do. And I came on there 14 seconds, so thank you.
There you go. Thank you so much. All right, next we have Greg Frazier from Alzheimer's Association. You are recognized, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you today. I know that many of you have been touched by the realities of Alzheimer's and dementia. Over 580,000 Floridians are living with Alzheimer's disease, including an estimated 9,300 here in Seminole County, which is approximately 12% of our 65 and over population. Due to your commitment, Florida has been proven to be a leader in dementia care and support. With your continued support, we remain optimistic as we propose our 2026 legislative priorities. We are advocating for $1.5 million to fund a comprehensive statewide public health awareness campaign that leverages multiple media platforms. We now have FDA-approved blood tests to aid in diagnosis and treatments that can slow the progression of Alzheimer's by reducing amyloid plaque in the brain, yet Florida remains one of the few states that hasn't invested in a public awareness campaign. Second, we must do more for Florida caregivers. We are asking the Florida legislature to codify the Florida Alzheimer's Center for Excellence, and we're seeking an increase in the funding for the Alzheimer's Disease Initiative to eliminate the backlog and the wait list for respite funding. Finally, we ask the legislature to continue to support the Brain Bus. Through your support and funding from the legislature, the Brain Bus has been able to travel to all 67 counties every year. On behalf of all the 580,000 people with Alzheimer's in this state, thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Sean Lazard. Sean, you are recognized.
Good morning. Thank you for this opportunity to speak on behalf of my daughter, Jordan, who's back there. She's part of the Central Florida Eye Budget and Waiver Program. Jordan's disability is a long life disability that is complex and requires the expertise of her waiver support coordinator, who's been in Jordan's life since 2006. She advocates for Jordan's needs on a daily and monthly basis, and anything that arises, she's there to take control of. The Florida Managed Care Program does not do that. It is based off of one program, a one-size-fits-all. And people like Jordan with developmental disabilities, that does not support them in any way. That program simply cannot do the services for individuals with developmental disabilities. Please support the iBudget Waiver Program as a separate, specialized system for Jordan and developmental people like Jordan. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And next we have J.J. Holmes. Now, J.J., I got to hear you at Orange County, and I know that your speech is already set up, so we're going to waive that 1.5 minute because of that, and we're going to give you 2 minutes. All right, and we see that you brought Santa, so I think they're going to be checking our naughty and nice list here, so we're on our best behavior. JJ, thank you. You are recognized.
Hold on, let me get, okay, that should pick you up, okay? Okay.
I brought back up today because I figured you'll listen to Santa. And since Santa is the one in charge of your gifts, and this is a Republican county, I'm hoping his red hat and the fear of ending up on the naughty list will close the deal. Take it away, Santa.
Ho, ho, ho. Well, 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 what do we have here? A room full of legislators who's been naughty this year. That's right, boys and girls, I checked my list twice, and you're all on it because of this managed care scheme you're cooking up for Florida's high-budget waiver program. And let me tell you something, even the other reindeer, yes, the ones who laughed and called Rudolph names, will draw a line at this one, ones who laughed at this one, oh, size fits all, sorry about that. Managed care plan, this idea is colder than Frosty the Snowman. And I've already heard all the excuses. But Santa, we just want to get them better services. Except, boys and girls, I see what happens when managed care takes over programs like this with their half-baked ideas that prioritize profits over people. In fact, last week, Scrooge called me up and said, Santa, what's going on in Tallahassee? These folks are starting to make me look generous. So here's the deal. The holiday season is about giving. It's about caring for the most vulnerable among us, not shipping them off to fend for themselves on managed care. I'm here today to give you a choice. You can either embrace those values and fix what's broken without managed care, or you can spend the next year explaining to every child in Florida why Santa put their legislators on the naughty list for life. And trust me, once you're on the naughty list, it's really hard to get off. Just ask the Grinch and Anthony Sabatini. Make your right choices, boys and girls, because I always know who's been naughty and who's been nice. Ho, ho, ho. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have a smattering of applause for Santa there. All right, next we have Shifra Mercado, Jean Van Smith, Rick Cieslak, and Stephanie Mosier, if you would line up. And Shifra Mercado from J&M Support Coordination Services, you are recognized.
Hi. Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Shifra Mercado, and I'm a waiver support coordinator here in Seminole County. I've had the privilege of helping individuals with developmental disabilities and their families as they navigate a system that, while well-intentioned, is often overwhelming and complex. What makes the iBudget waiver truly special is that it allows for independent advocacy. Support coordinators are not employed by the agency for persons with disabilities, and we are not tied to any managed care organizations. We work directly for the individuals and families we serve. Our only incentive is their success, their stability, their progress, and their ability to live meaningful lives in the communities. Unlike managed care models, waiver support coordination carries no financial incentive to delay, deny, or discourage services. Managed care companies operate under a capitation rate. The less they spend, the greater the profit. They receive what's called an achieved savings rebate, a bonus for underspending on people's care. The waiver model is different. We are not motivated by profit margins. We are motivated by people. We are the consistent voice, the calm presence, and often the only advocate who truly knows the person behind the paperwork. When you support the waiver, you support a system where relationships, not profits, drive decisions. So today I urge you, keep the waiver strong, keep it independent, keep it viable. Thank you for your time and your continued support of Florida's families and the dedicated waiver support coordinators who serve them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next we have Jean Van Smith, Foundation for Seminole County Public Schools. You are recognized.
Good morning, delegation members. First of all, I just want to start with a sincere thank you. Because of all of you, including our sponsors, Senator Broder and Representative Smith, we received a legislative appropriation to be able to purchase and outfit a cargo van for our programs. This van is going to be able to go around Seminole County and Central Florida, picking up school supply donations that go directly to students in need. We are also very excited because we have a physical teacher resource store in Sanford, which has been around since 2010. But with the new cargo van, we're going to be able to take a pop-up store out to outlying schools around the county to be able to serve more teachers and ultimately more students, and that's all because of you. I also just want to touch briefly on two programs that I know you're familiar with that get recurring state funding. We're not asking for an increase statewide this year. That is our Take Stock in Children program. Here in Seminole County, the funding supports 120 low-income high school students with mentoring and college scholarships when they graduate. The mentors are members of our community, engineers, accountants, police officers, retirees who meet regularly with our students. And then the other program is the School District Education Foundation Matching Grant Program. We get funding from the state that we have to match with private funds to support programs that help make SCPS an A-rated school district. So you can always reach out to me with any questions, and thank you for always taking the time to meet with me when I come up to Tallahassee.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Rick Cieslak, forgive me if I mispronounced, Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Florida.
You got it. Thank you very much. First, I want to start with some gratitude. I appreciate all you guys do to support us throughout the years. Senator Broder, you've championed several of our bills, so we do appreciate all your support. My name is Rick Cieslak. I serve on the board of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Florida. Here in Central Florida, we serve over 13,000 youth, and that's through 39 different clubs. Here in Seminole County alone, we just opened a new club in Oviedo not too long ago, so we have 3 clubs here where we serve over 700 youth. I am also the board chair of the Florida Alliance. I've been the board chair for about 4 years now. The Florida Alliance represents 347 sites. We serve over 260 youth, and our ask up in Tallahassee is we want to continue our positive youth development program through the Department of Juvenile Justice, which is at $6 million. We want to continue our mentoring of students and assistants, and that's through the Department of Education, and that's $5 million. We want to add back the workforce development that we had a few years ago for several years, and last year was taken away from us, $2.5 million from the Department of Education. A lot of our youth do not want to go to college, and this workforce development program helps them to go to the next step. We look at 3 ways to help them, whether it's either the military, into the workforce, or into college. Finally, opioid prevention, and that's one Senator Broder has always helped us with, $2.5 million for the opioid prevention, which we had previously and was vetoed. So I appreciate all you guys do for us.
Thank you so much. And next we have Stephanie Mosier with the Children's Home Society of Florida. Stephanie, you're recognized. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Stephanie Moser, and I'm the Director of Development representing the Central Florida area, including Seminole County, for Children's Home Society of Florida. And I'm here with my board member, Julia Thomas Newman, and our Executive Director, Dr. Katria Haynes Jenkins. So Children's Home Society, or CHS, is the state's longest-serving nonprofit focused on serving Florida's children and families for over 123 years. CHS is a founding partner of the Community Partnership School model in Florida, focused on strengthening the quality of education by addressing key barriers to learning with co-located services in schools, such as medical and dental care, counseling, after-school enrichment, mentoring, and more. On behalf of all of us at CHS, we would like to thank you for your support for the $20.1 million in sustaining funding for the Community Partnership School model included in the fiscal year 25-6 state budget. This funding sustains the 50 community partnership schools statewide and has impacted 45,000 students this year. For fiscal year 26-27, in partnership with the UCF Center for Community Schools, we are requesting a funding increase of $6.1 million. This increase hopes to expand the model for up to 10 more schools in the state of Florida and will also allow for 14 schools currently within the model to receive enhancement funding for access to behavioral health care services. Thank you for your time, your consideration, and your enthusiasm for our state.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Marie Martinez. Following her, Maria Bledsoe, Dawn Stewart, and Martha Are. And Marie Martinez, the Howard Phillips Center for Children and Families. You're recognized.
Thank you. Good morning. And I wanted to say before I started my comments that I really appreciated the discussion this morning about the Winter Springs referendum issue. Very interesting discussion. Appreciate all the points all of you made. For the Howard Phillips Center, the Central Florida Early Steps, the second to last paragraph in that handout you just received, talks about the fact that we serve 8,000 children and family members, tri-county, with special needs and delays. That's babies and children birth to age 3. And of those, about 2,000 are here in Seminole County. What is that? That's kids who have autism. That's kids who have Down syndrome, spina bifida, cerebral palsy. And the golden window of opportunity to help these kids the most is when their brains grow the fastest from birth to 3. Here's where the dollars should be invested. The Early Steps program, the last 2 years, I want to remind you, I requested no additional money, just requested spending authority. This year, there's an idea on the table to expand these services to 4-year-olds statewide. And I would say that while we support that, we would also feel that you would need to add funding for that. Otherwise, it would be an unfunded mandate. I want to also just do a quick shout out to a couple of other programs here in Seminole County. You just heard from Children's Home Society. They run the highly successful Healthy Families Florida Healthy Families Seminole program. Evidence-based, we run that program as well in Central Florida. It's proven to prevent child abuse. I'm a subject matter expert, 3 decades of work in this field, and this program moves the needle and prevents abuse like no other. Secondly, you're going to hear from Kids House in a minute. There's a request this year for the Florida Network of Children's Advocacy Centers to get an additional $5 million in non-recurring Bridge the Gap funding to offset cuts from the Victim of Crime Act. I urge you to support that as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Next, we have Marie Martinez, I'm sorry, that was Marie. Yeah. Marie. Next, we have Marie Bledsoe, Central Florida Cares. And she is not here? Okay. Then we will move forward to Don Stewart, Mental Health Association of Central Florida. You are recognized. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning, members. It's my honor to be with you today. Again, my name is Dawn Stewart, and for the past 4 years, I've had the privilege of serving as a volunteer board member for the Mental Health Association of Central Florida. Today, I'm here to share an inspiring story of hope, healing, and community partnerships, and to invite you to help us take the next critical steps transforming mental health for Seminole County. With your support, we are preparing to open your county's first mental health and behavioral health clinic, a safe haven for uninsured individuals in need of counseling and mental health. We secured a welcoming home for the clinic at 419 South Park Avenue in Sanford, located at First United Methodist Church. We have 750 spaces, very affordable. We think it's the right place. And we also want to thank Rep. Placencia and Senator Broder for helping us get funding through the state of Florida, Department of DCF and Advent Health. We've already secured $225,000, and we also have Advent Health will be funding $100,000 for the next 3 years per year. So we're well on our way to a new beginning. We've seen the heartbreaking reality of what happens when help doesn't come soon enough. Just last week, 3 young students and middle and high schoolers committed suicide in Orange County. In Seminole County, excuse me. That's why we are seeking the appropriations of $150,000 to ensure that the clinic's operation goes smoothly and we are able to serve your constituents. And thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Martha R. From Homeless Services Network of Central Florida, followed by Dr. Joel Hunter, Melissa Winstead, and Kelly Piciota.
Good morning, and thank you again for allowing me and all of us to be here. It's quite an honor. The Homeless Services Network, we do a lot of things, but I'm going to focus on a few here. One of them is that we partner with community providers who work in the homeless response system space. And with that partnership, we really look at what resources are coming into the community and how do we make sure that we're using them as strategically as possible. And we make those decisions using data to inform those decisions and those processes. We have a database called the Homeless Management Information System that more than 400 caseworkers and outreach workers from across the region enter their information into. With that data, we can look at what programs have what kind of outcomes, what agencies have what kind of outcomes, and how are we performing as a system overall, as well as using the information so that case managers can see where somebody's already received services. My request of you is that when the topic of homelessness comes up during the next session, and I'm sure it will, remember us. We have a lot of information. We have a lot of partnerships. We can give you insight to help you make the best decisions on this issue possible, and that's our request. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Martha. And I do not see Dr. Hunter. Is he here? Then next we will have Melissa Winstead, Kids House of Seminole. Thank you. You are recognized.
Good morning. My name is Melissa Winstead, and I'm the Development Director at Kids House of Seminole. Thank you for your past support of the Florida Network of Children's Advocacy Centers, for which Kids House is a member. Kids House is Seminole County's only children's advocacy center, and as such, serves as a single point of contact for child abuse investigations in Seminole County. We partner with law enforcement, DCF, the State Attorney's Office, and other organizations to protect abused and neglected children. Child abuse is one of those topics that is very difficult to discuss. It is so unpleasant, actually, that we tend to not talk about it. But we must, because children, many children, do not have childhoods filled with laughter, curiosity, and play. Instead, it is filled with fear, degradation, and pain. I know for certain that you will agree with me when I say no child should have to live like that. 1 in 5 girls and 1 in 20 boys is a victim of child sexual abuse. Child abuse remains the leading cause of death in children under the age of 4. Every month, there are more than 400 child abuse cases in Seminole County. Let me repeat that. Every month, there are more than 400 child abuse cases in Seminole County. The greatest challenge to running a children's advocacy center is staffing. Due to the nature of this work, burnout rates are high, which makes staff turnover high as well. We need your continued support of child welfare programs in Seminole County so we can continue to provide the evidence-based programs kids need to heal from abuse. Lastly, I cordially invite each of you to Kids House. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. And Kelly, I'm not sure how to pronounce. Is this like prosciutto?
Pisciata.
Pisciata? Okay.
Habitat
for Humanity.
Yeah, I tell everybody Kelly from Habitat. That's a whole lot easier to remember my name. First off, so I'm Kelly Pisciata, Chief Operating Officer for Habitat Seminole Apopka, your hometown habitat. And I want to thank all of you for your time and what you do for your community, but I really want to recognize and thank Representative Plankin and Senator Broder, who will be helping us with our appropriation this year. Representative Bankson, thank you for your time. I just saw you guys a couple weeks ago, so I can be really fast. So, as you all know, that we offer people earning low to moderate income a home buying program, and we're also helping them with their financial wellness in the community and the surrounding communities. Our affiliate, Habitat Seminole Apopka, produces the most entry-level homes for low-income families earning 60 to 80% of the area median income in our area. We're pioneers among Habitat affiliates in that we're evolving from a builder of houses on existing lots into a developer of raw land with infrastructure, streets, utilities, and everything that needs to be done to help us to create entire communities of Habitat homes where families can grow, support one another, and build lasting stability. Constructing durable, energy-efficient housing that is still affordable for our future home buyers is very difficult. Right now, we are making history in the city of Sanford through the development of Legacy Point. We're developing raw land at the intersection of West 25th and Sarita for 19 single-family homes, which is going to help us to house 19 more families. We are asking your support for our appropriation that we'll be putting in for $700,000, and I'm always here to answer questions if you need them. Thank you all. Bam.
Thank you, Kelly. I just want to add, too, what a tremendous program. The fact that you help to educate the future homeowner, they are up to speed, and really it's tremendous the work that you do, so thank you.
And thank you for that. And once again, we appreciate your support.
Yes. Next we have Janae Hamilton Osborne. Thank you.
Thank you for allowing me to speak today. I am here to seek a legislative sponsor for my adoption empowerment bill. By making private adoptions more affordable, we'll be giving safe homes to at-risk infants and reducing the amount of children entering the foster care system. The goal is to help families who are ready to adopt so they are not held back by impossible upfront costs. Many families begin the adoption journey with hope, but far too many are forced to quit the process early due to the overwhelming initial financial burden. Private adoption costs in Florida range from $30,000 to $60,000, expected to be paid in a lump sum at the time of placement. For some residents, that's more than what they make a year. Due to the changing reproductive laws, there are more children requiring adoption. This bill seeks to provide pro-family, pro-child solutions that make adoption a more feasible option for everyday Americans. The bill is a modified version of the assistance program that will be available to all Florida residents who have an approved home study and are already in contract with a state-approved agency for a domestic adoption. It provides for reductions in fees or waiver of fees for private adoptions based on the potential adoptive parent's annual income, giving all families an equal opportunity to successfully adopt children. Similar initiatives are already approved in 17 states. The included incentives desired are the preliminary financial payments issued directly to the adoption agencies. The excluded benefits are monthly subsidies, higher education incentives, and post-finalization medical assistance.
Thank you, Janae. I believe we have some good news. Representative Plaken.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would be interested in talking with you more about that. Thank you so much for coming today.
I would too.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next, we have Christina Casanave McCarthy, followed by Laura Lochner, Nicole King, and Justin Harvey. Christina Casanave McCarthy, National Association of Social Workers. You're recognized.
Good morning. My name is actually Amy Monsione, and I'm here on behalf of Christina McCarthy. I am the serving secretary for the National Association of Social Workers, the Florida chapter, and have been a Seminole County licensed clinical social worker for over 20 years serving this community. I am here today to ask your support of House Bill 13 and Senate Bill 74, which would allow Florida to join the Social Work Licensure Compact. From an economic perspective, this legislation makes sense. Every vacant social work position costs agencies thousands of dollars in recruitment, onboarding, and loss of productivity. Workforce shortages drive up crisis care costs, delayed services, and increased pressure on hospitals, law enforcement, and our child welfare systems, all of which are far more expensive to operate. Joining the compact allows licensed social workers from other states to fill these gaps quickly, bringing new professionals and their tax revenue into the Florida economy. With 30 states already participating, Florida is now the only state in the South not part of this compact, putting us at a competitive disadvantage in attracting a skilled workforce. By passing HB 13 and Senate Bill 74, we invest in Florida's economic stability and ensure our community has the professionals needed to grow, health, and resiliency. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I just received notice that we have Commissioner, I'm bringing this up here, Andrea Herr is in the back. I'd like to recognize her. There we go. Fashionably late, is that it? Okay, next we have Laura Lochner, Runway to Hope.
In all fairness, she was here on time.
Yes, she was. Oh, then I missed, that's my fault. Okay. I'm on the naughty list now. Followed by Nicole King, Justin Harvey, and Leslie Grubel, if you would like to line up there. Laura Lochner, Runway to Hope, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Laura Lochner, and I am the Executive Director for Runway to Hope. We serve children and families battling pediatric cancer in our 7 Central Florida counties in partnership with our 3 local children's hospitals. I've had time with all of you over the past couple years, and we were fortunate enough to receive an appropriations request sponsored by Representative Placencia. And today I'd like to ask for your support for our request in the upcoming legislative session. Many people don't know that 1 in 5 families battling pediatric cancer are already living in poverty at the time of diagnosis, and the Florida Department of Health estimates that 1,000 children a year will be diagnosed within the state of Florida alone. So we'd like to ask for your support. Representative Erica Booth will be running on the House side. Senator Tom Leek is confirmed on the Senate side. And I know you all have your own projects and requests, but please advocate for Runway to Hope in the budget. It will make a difference for our families who are fighting for their lives. Thank you. 30 seconds left.
Yes, thank you so much. Yielding your time. Next we have Nicole King. No, we do not have Nicole King.
Leslie Grubel.
Okay, we're missing Nicole and Justin Harvey.
We're here.
Okay.
Did you want us to wait? Are we okay here?
Yeah, you're up, actually, Nicole King.
I said no, that's why I sat back down. I wasn't sure, I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Nicole King. You are recognized.
Good morning. My name is Nicole. I'm a registered nurse in the Central Florida area and a medical and vaccine injury advocate. The first bill I wanted to mention that some of you may be familiar with is Cody's Law, or the No Vaccine Injured Patient Left Behind Act. This bill acknowledges that the vaccine injured exists and places already Medicare and Medicaid programs at the forefront to assess and treat their needs in a timely fashion. This bill highlights why mandating vaccines and not having resources in place to help those after should be condoned. And I want to thank State Surgeon General Dr. Joseph Ladapo for helping us with this bill gain federal interest. We hope that you will all support our State Surgeon General in ending the vaccine mandates in the state of Florida, leaving the choice solely up to the individual. The second bill proposal we recently filed with Senator Ileana Garcia is SB 188. It is called the Sudden Death in the Young Act of 2026. It calls for mandatory reporting of any vaccine or emergency countermeasures given within 90 days of any versions of sudden death in the ages of 20 years or less across all 24 medical examiner districts in the state of Florida. This will streamline inconsistent reporting practices across the state, add mandatory verbiage to be added to the Department of Health reporting forms, and allow full compliance with privacy laws, making this the information available for research and prevention. Other states that use this registry are already using the data to guide prevention strategies and to save lives. Florida families deserve the same transparency and accountability. By passing this bill, you will be able to turn around and give families more information. So thank you for your time, and we look forward to your support. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, next on the agenda, we do have Justin Harvey and then Leslie Grubel. Is Justin here? There he is. Okay. Leslie, you get 3 introductions today, so. Justin, Justin Harvey, we are Change Orlando. Right over here, please.
Oh, that would make sense. Sorry about that.
There we go.
My name is Justin Harvey. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm here also today to talk about home rule. Preserving local control is essential if we want to do what's best for our communities. Unfortunately, we have lost that power as it relates to cell phone towers and wireless infrastructure. I'm specifically talking about those small cell 5G towers we've seen equipped on all of our lampposts across cities. A state law was passed in 2017 taking away our local control on how to regulate these towers. That means if a community has health concerns or property value concerns, our ability to regulate them has been taken away. Well, why does this matter? Because of headlines like this. Cell tower banned near fire station after firefighters develop abnormal brain function. School cell tower removed after 8 students develop cancer. Switzerland proposes 3-year moratorium on 5G rollout. I think you get the drift. Cell towers emit radio frequency emissions, and the closer you are to an antenna, the more dangerous that can be. We all know it's not safe to hold our phone up too close to our head or stick our head in the microwave. People are living right next to some of these towers, outside their bedroom windows. This is not safe. A phone can be turned off, a cell tower cannot. According to a Realtor magazine, 90% of home buyers would pay less for a home near a cell tower. Bottom line, they pose documented health risks and lower property values. That's why we need local control back on this. So let's amend that law and restore that power. And last but not least, we also do, like Nicole said, need to end all the vaccine mandates. I'm sure you heard the Department of Health is ending some. Let's end the rest with legislation. Where there is risk, there must be choice. There is with all medication. We can't be the free state of Florida if we're forcing people to take medicine against their will. So please support ending vaccine mandates and restoring home rule on 5G small cell towers. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And now, finally, Leslie Grubel. You are recognized.
Thank you very much. There's a display here. I hope it can be made a little more readable. Anyway, that's just for your visualization. So, as a college and graduate school trained registered nurse, I'm asking you to reject any plans to eliminate vaccine mandate requirements for Florida's children. Surgeon General Ladapo has reported that he has filed a rule change that will eliminate mandates for vaccinations against hepatitis B, chickenpox, H. flea type B, and pneumococcal infections. The elimination of mandates for polio, diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, measles, mumps, and rubella will require changes in law, which is where you come in. The Surgeon General has stated that he wants all school vaccine mandates gone. According to the president of the American Academy of Pediatrics, we are concerned that this change will put children in Florida schools at a higher risk for getting sick and have ripple effects across the community. The American Medical Association in September of 2025 opposes this Florida plan that states it would undermine decades of public health progress and increase the risk for diseases like measles, mumps, and polio. Measles and chickenpox are highly contagious. Protection against these vaccine-preventable diseases require a high rate of immunity, herd immunity among children, and that rate is 95%. Our 2024-25 vaccination rates for kindergartners was 89. Eliminating mandates will erode herd immunity, which could result in pockets of unvaccinated children or outbreaks of disease could occur.
And we do need you to finish that thought when you can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I would ask that you do not allow this to become enacted. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we have Christy Murphy, followed by Zach Broderson, Andrea Mahoney, and Paul Owens. Christy Murphy. I'm sorry. Did I? Yes, Christy
morning.
Murphy, you're recognized.
Good morning, and thank you for allowing me to speak. You should have my handout in your binder, and I am here, I'm not asking for money, I'm asking for investigation into more regulation into veterinary medicine, specifically equine veterinary medicine. I recently experienced a situation where my horse was in severe colic situation, and I was not able to get my regular equine vet to come out as he was out of the state. So I had to call other equine vets, and they refused, absolutely refused to come out and help me, simply because I was not a current client. I don't understand this mindset, and I believe that this system just needs to be changed. What I ended up having to do was shoot my horse to put him out of his misery. He was suffering so badly. It should not have to come to this. Equine veterinarians, they have an oath that they speak, and I don't have a copy of it right here. And their oath says that they protect animal health and welfare and the prevention and relief of animal suffering. And they conscientiously, with dignity and in keeping with the principles of veterinary medical ethics. And then we have the Florida statutes on animal cruelty. And I know these were probably written for just the regular citizen who is abusing animals, but this, I believe, should apply to professionals as well. Well, you've got the handout, you can read through the rest of it, but it's just a concern for not just me, but many animal owners across the state of Florida. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christine. Next, we have Zach Broderson, Central Florida Hotel and Lodging Association. Zach, you're recognized.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the delegation. My name is Zach Broderson. I'm the Government Affairs Manager with Central Florida Hotel and Lodging Association. We're the largest regional hospitality association in the country, and representing more than 800 hospitality-related businesses from across the Central Florida region. I'm here today to speak to you about a few issues that are very important to our industry and our workforce. Nearly 40% of our local workforce now is employed by the hospitality and tourism industry, and our number one issue is the protection of the tourist development tax. TDT, in its current regulatory form, plays a critical role in our economic success and job stability by driving record tourism to our community through successful destination marketing efforts such as the work of Visit Orlando, Experience Kissimmee, and Seminole County Tourism, the funding of more than $100 million to our local arts community, and bringing world-class sporting events to our community. All of this at no expense to the local taxpayer. Modifying or increasing or expanding the allowable uses of TDT for other purposes would only weaken its effectiveness and ultimately hurt our local taxpayers. We'd also like to ask for your continued support to fully funding the Sadowski Trust Fund for its intended purpose, funding the local workforce housing. We'd also ask for your support in the investment of our critical regional transportation projects like the Sunshine Corridor and increasing per-student funding for our local colleges and universities like Seminole State College, which are unfortunately among the lowest per-student funded institutions in the state. We also ask for your continued fully funding of Visit Florida, consider reforms of that lower commercial property insurance, and finally implementing the statewide regulation of vacation rentals and advertising platforms. Thank you all for your time. We really appreciate it and looking forward to working with you for legislative session.
We do have a question. You recognize it?
Thank you, Mr. Broderson, if in fact that is your real name.
It is, and spelled correctly, yes, absolutely.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Are you aware of any TDT bills that have been filed so far?
None at the moment. We are focusing on the property tax bills because we know that's going to be a whole issue for the legislature as a whole, but not aware of any specific bills that have been filed to date.
All right.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have Andrea Mahoney from Parks Foundation, and you are recognized.
Good morning, members of the delegation. I'm Andrea Mahoney, and this is Abby Sanchez with me, our fellow board member with the Parks Foundation. We respectfully request support for investment for a barrier-free adaptive playground for kids and adults of special needs with Seminole County. We have secured a 25% vendor credit donation on the playground equipment. There are thousands of residents in Seminole County with special needs. They deserve a place where they can safely and meaningfully play. There isn't much adaptive equipment in Seminole County parks, and this is so important. Adaptive equipment like wheelchair accessible swings, sensory play panels, transfer platforms removes physical and social barriers, allowing everyone to participate equally. For children with disabilities, it's critical for cognitive, emotional, and physical development, helps build motor skills, coordination, confidence. For adults, independence, mobility, and mental health. It fosters friendship and empathy, allowing kids with and without disabilities to play side by side, and reduces stigma when they hit the classrooms. We ask for a commitment to the values we all share: compassion, dignity, access, and community, and the belief that public spaces should be available for every member of the public. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Paul Owens with 1,000 Friends of Florida.
Good morning. Thank you, members of the delegation, for the opportunity and for your public service. I'm Paul Owens, president of 1,000 Friends of Florida. We advocate citizen-driven community planning to protect our environment, our quality of life, and the economy that depends on both. Given the time limit, I'm going to highlight our top legislative priority, fixing Senate Bill 180. We support the original purpose of Senate Bill 180 to help communities and residents recover from disasters, but the law didn't stop there. Section 28 has frozen in place local comp plan and land development regulations for 3 years. Section 18 would renew that freeze for another year after any future hurricane within 100 miles. Both sections outlaw updates to plans or regulations that might be considered more restrictive or burdensome for development. And this undefined language is not limited to hurricane-damaged property. It's being used to threaten or invalidate resilience policies, environmental protections, and inflation adjustments to impact fees to help cover the costs of growth. Please repeal sections 28 and 18 and restore Floridians' right to plan the future of their communities.
Thank you very much. We're moving along, looking well on our time, so if we can keep going forward, we may just finish right on time. Joe Balog, Mighty River Recovery, you are recognized.
Thank you so much. I'm Joe Baylock from Mighty River Recovery. We are actually the fastest growing freshwater advocacy group in Florida. Our work is exclusively on the St. Johns River, and I know that in this area, the St. Johns River is a major tourist draw. It is a major part of this community. You can even see Seminole County, Florida's natural choice is the motto here all over the room. And a lot of business and interest in this community revolves around the St. Johns River. It may be alarming to a lot of people to know that water quality issues on the St. Johns River are the worst in modern history. Game fish numbers, according to the FWC, are at the lowest in recorded history, and a number of the problems really all revolve around water quality issues. We see all over Florida concerns about water quality, specifically about nutrient pollution, algae blooms that are threatening our resources. Our group works extensively on these issues and has found that one of the major components leading to them is antiquated management. Your constituents and people within the community, if you talk about concerns on the St. Johns River, they will unanimously bring up the concerns of herbicide use, of vegetation spraying, and of problems that are associated with that. We work on these issues every single day, and I just wanted to bring them up in front of you. There is a handout that we provided that shows some simple, holistic ways to really help the river and drive a lot more interest back to that section of our community. So thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Simon Adams, Equal Ground, followed by Phyllis Hall and Cindy Holler. You are recognized.
Good morning, delegation. I am Simon Adams, and I am here with Equal Ground, a Black-led, nonpartisan voting rights organization looking to spread civic engagement and accessibility throughout every county throughout the state of Florida. Today, I stand before you with deep empathy for the future of Florida and the communities most impacted by the decisions you make in legislative session. Democracy only works when all constituents are represented equally in our elections. We urge you to stand firmly against any mid-decade redistricting. Efforts to expedite this process is a blatant attempt to undermine democracy and silence voters. Floridians voted with 60% and passed the Fair District Amendments to ensure fairness, accountability, and transparency in redistricting. These laws must be respected. To ignore them is to ignore the will of the people. Thank you for your representation today and in this upcoming session. God bless. I yield the rest of my time.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Phyllis Hall, President, Seminole Audubon Society. Phyllis, you are recognized.
Thank you, and thank you all. I appreciate this opportunity to speak before you and to see you in person. Representative Smith has been very cordial in responding personally to my emails, or at least I'm impressed that it doesn't seem to be a bot responding. It's a real person. I like that. And Senator Broder, thank you so much for your support for the Wildlife Corridor, and also I know you're working on the Free the Ocklawaha initiative as well. And I just ask you all to reinstate full funding for the Florida Wildlife Corridor, for Florida Forever, which supports the Wildlife Corridor. I know money got reallocated last year for agriculture lands, and those are important. All land that gets conserved, put aside for conservation is very important. But please do fully fund the Florida Forever for this next session. And then Senate Bill 180, Paul Owens already talked about that, and I know we've also had email exchange about that needs to be changed, and you're very aware of that, and I'm sure you're hearing from municipalities and other people about that, but it needs to be repealed to expedite the post-disaster rebuilding, and there are several things that undermine local authorities, so please relook at that and make those changes that need to be changed. So I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Cindy Holler. You are recognized.
Good morning. My grassroots focus today is on Senate Bill 180, which I know has already been talked about by Chair Zumbauer, Phyllis, and Mr. Owens. So I'll keep it relatively brief. The two sections that were mentioned, that would be, see here, sections 18 and 28 need to be changed. They go too far. Would make it harder to reduce flooding, protect water quality, and manage growth, which I know is all important to Floridians. Elected officials, as Chair Zumbauer mentioned, can no longer make key land use decisions that affect our communities every day. This law, as it stands, reduces home rule. I believe in home rule. I support my county's rural boundary, the Wekiva River Protection Area, and our rural enclaves that are being worked on. and smart growth initiatives. So I've been seeing bills filed already, so please file to modify Senate Bill 180. I'm also opposed to Senate Bill 208. Please don't keep trying to chip away at the authority of local leaders and the citizens who elect them to make decisions on where and how their communities grow. And I thank you for your time, attention, and consideration, and I appreciate your service to the state. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Jeanette Keeling, followed by Sharon Kaverth, Elise Jardine, and Pasha Baker. You're recognized. Thank you.
Good morning, delegates. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to speak to you. My name is Jeanette Keeling. I live in Altamont Springs, and I have submitted various resolutions that were created by the Florida Republic Assembly, of which I'm a member. And I had also submitted something about the SB 180, Sections 18 and 20. You should have copies of everything that I submitted in your packages, but I also would like you please to consider repealing these Sections 18 and 28 from SB 180 because basically they reduce our home rule. They give our county commissioners less authority to act, and it's very restricted and burdensome on behalf of them. But with the other resolutions I had given, I'd like to mention that we need stronger legislation, please, for the sanctity of life, more pro-life legislature, because there are too many abortions even today being carried out. And also, we need banning of the mRNA, biological agents, in all vaccines, and in foods, and in animal vaccines, veterinarian vaccines, because I think they're harmful and we don't need to ingest these. And I thank you for your time and consideration. Thank you for all you do. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Sharon Kaverth. And you are recognized.
It looks like somebody got auto-check confused because it's Carveth. It's okay. That's one of the more unique spellings I've found. I'm going to be working with Senator Plakin's office, Representative Plakin's office and Senator Brudder's office because they are my representatives. But this is something that just arose because I've spent 2 years fighting for access to my property. And what I have discovered in property law, and I know a lot more than I ever knew or wanted to know, is that the statute of limitations lets somebody own property for a good number of years before they take any action. I've owned my house for 31 years, 33 years now. My neighbor has owned his for 25 years, and it was just 2.5 years ago where he started infringing on my ability to access my property. So I want to work with my representatives to see the best way of resolving this, whether it's a modification to the statute of limitations or property law or whatever, but it's been a nightmare and I've had to get the courts and attorneys involved in order to resolve this. And I know of 8 other people who are facing the same thing potentially in the future that I have just spent 2 years trying to resolve. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Elise Jardine, United Arts of Central Florida, you are recognized. Thank you.
Good morning and thank you. Honorable members of the Seminole County Legislative Delegation, my name is Elise Jardine. I'm a Sanford resident and Senior Director of Community Outreach for United Arts of Central Florida. As you receive the impact fact sheet of the United Arts investments in Seminole County, I'm here to voice strong support for the arts as a cornerstone of a prosperous and healthy community. The arts are not a luxury, they are a critical investment in our economy and quality of life. In Central Florida, the nonprofit arts and cultural sector accounts for more than 9,000 jobs and $500 million in annual economic impact. They generate tax revenue and fuel our tourism and hospitality sectors. When we fund the arts, we're investing in local businesses and developing a dynamic workforce. It's a proven economic strategy that strengthens our entire community. Speaking of stronger communities, the arts make our public spaces more vibrant and safe. They provide essential education opportunities for our students, fostering the creativity and critical thinking skills they need to succeed. A strong arts community attracts and retains the families and businesses that make Seminole County thrive. As you head to Tallahassee, I respectfully ask that you reinstate, prioritize, and protect state arts funding through the Department of State's Division of Arts and Culture, and join United Arts in investing in arts and culture to support vibrant communities and our thriving local economies. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Pasha Baker, Goldsboro West Community Historical Association. You are recognized.
Thank you and good morning. My name is Pasha Baker. I'm the Director and CEO of the Goldsboro Westside Community Historical Association, Incorporated. We are a cultural nonprofit that was founded in 2010 and humbly has had over 70,000+ visitors. In 2024, 75 million people visited our beautiful state. Right now, it costs an average family of four over $11,000 to enjoy a few days at those theme parks. At least one of those days they are going to spend with me, connecting the Florida dots of history to this great city of Goldsboro, right here in the county seat of Sanford. That family is going to buy gas, enjoy our restaurants, and spend their hard-earned vacation dollar at the mom and pop shops in our local community. From the $32 million that was invested in 2024, that was directly invested into nonprofit arts and culture, the return on investment, the ROI, was 3 times. 3 times, 3 to 1 to return, make it a smart investment. Today, I'm asking you to stand up for arts and culture organizations like the Florida African American Heritage Preservation Network that you have been funding since 2009, United Arts of Central Florida, and the Goldsboro Museum for that 3 to 1 smart return on investments that pour directly back into our local community. I'm thankful that for your investment, and a special thank you to Senator Jason Broder for all his support for over the years. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we are getting more compressed on our time. We have 10 more speakers than we have 7 following that have just signed up today. So we're going to have to squeeze that back to a minute each. I apologize for that. And so we'll recognize without delay Sarah Johnston, Community Clay Connections. You're
Hi,
recognized.
thank you so much. Good morning, chairs and members of the Seminole County Delegation. My name is Sarah Johnston. I'm the Executive Director and founder of Community Clay Connections. We basically go into communities that are isolated and we teach clay-based art classes and we encourage mindfulness. So these skills are meditation, gratitude, positive self-talk. We kind of go in the back door and try to get students to think differently about their own health. Basically, we just finished up programming at the library system here in Seminole County. We also are doing some work at a memory care facility, and we just are working with a delinquent alternative school, and we did a project called Hype Mirrors, and they were able to talk about how they could be impacted by art, and it was very powerful. We're asking that you would please use your powers to encourage the Division of Arts and Health or Culture to be refunded so that we can use these funds to reach children and people that need it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Linda Coffin, and you are recognized.
Thank you. Please support 2 wonderful bills, Conflict Resolution Pilot Program to teach our youth how to handle anger and disagreements without turning to violence. Second, please support Yaya Alert Bill, honoring the memory of 9-year-old Tyona Yaya Majors, who tragically lost her life to gun violence. It would require all schools to notify parents if there is an active shooter within 3 miles of school. Lastly, please vote no to HB 133, which would lower the age to purchase a long gun to 18. Let's talk about Florida freedom. Tell me, what is free about criminalizing a man who works sun up to sundown, feeds our families, builds our homes, only to be arrested for tinted windows and deported without due process? What is free about open carry? Maybe free for the one with the gun, but for the rest of us, it's the freedom to wonder, are you going to use it on me, on my children, on a stranger in the grocery store? True freedom is not in bans or bullets or borders. True freedom isn't in power, it's in people. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Francine Richmond, followed by Ann Solomon, Kim White, and Mike Hanen. If you can line up, please. You're recognized.
Hello, I'm Francine Richmond. I'm a wife, a mom of 4, a grandma of 5, and I've grown up in Seminole County my whole life also. I'm here to speak about Romeo and Juliet. They're infamous and a tragedy of youth. The Romeo and Juliet clause is placed in the law to protect our youth. It's a gift of time with an allowance for a mistake without a lifetime of punishment. An 18-year-old should not be branded with the scarlet letter of the sex offender registry for consensual sex. We've all made mistakes, and if they did not commit a heinous crime such as rape or force, they should have a path off the registry. This happened to our family in 2017. My son was offered the choice of 2 years in prison or registry and probation. He took probation. What would you do when you were 19? I had no idea what this registry entailed. Our lives have been forever changed. I believe that our youth should have a chance to grow up, and we need to protect them and take care of them. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Ann Solomon. You are recognized. Thank you.
Thank you. My commentary is to further inform decision-making for House Bill 45. The number of people labeled as sex offenders in Florida has grown dramatically because Florida has created scores of new sex offenses, 142. When the sex offender registry originated, only people who raped and physically hurt others were on it. Now people are on the registry who are trying at home to help their autistic child who was inappropriately touching someone and therapy was delayed. Both parent and child are on the registry. Sexted friends, a problem with middle and high schoolers. Unwittingly committed an offense, an early sign of dementia. Given the broad range of sexual offenses in Florida, recidivism is 1%, according to recent FDC independent data analysis. What can we do? Encourage safety. Let's save all children, not just one, through education for sexual abuse prevention. After a person has completed accountability, comes a responsibility on society's part to prevent future offenses by encouraging successful reintegration so that people can be positive contributors, not liabilities.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Kim White. Kim, you're recognized.
Hi, I'm Kim White. I'm a registered voter in the state of Florida. Everyone in Florida should receive fair treatment, even those in prison. There's an ombudsman bill and bill drafting I would like you all to support. Conditions in prisons are inhumane, food portions are small and often inedible. Medical is terrible, and it's over 110 degrees in the dorms during the summer. There is no oversight. 19-year-old officers with less than 2 years' experience are left in charge of over 150 men and women in a dorm. So thank God those people in prison are not violent. Families pay out millions yearly in overpriced contracts with the state. Many lawsuits our state pays out for lack of care provided by DOC. Drugs are everywhere, and there's no help for the people inside that are given drugs. A legislation took away the $100 million to fix the buildings and haven't returned it. There is not enough funding, and Secretary Dixon said last week he was going to leave.
Thank
Florida
you.
doesn't need tougher prisons, it needs smarter ones.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Next, we have Mike Hanen, followed by Robert Eckelberger, Carla Wilson, Brian Wilson, and Chris Pierce, if you can line up. Thank you.
I'm Michael Hanen, and as some of you can see, I'm a veteran. I'm an honorably discharged veteran that served 3 overseas combat tours. I'm also on Florida's sex offender registry. That registry violates 11 constitutional amendments. And this is especially egregious for all of us honorably discharged veterans because we sacrificed for years to protect those constitutional rights, but because we made one mistake we are forever barred from the protections, obligations, and rights of the Constitution. We earned those rights through our military service, and you on the delegation have the power to restore those rights fully, permanently, and immediately. My ask is that you do so. And if you want more details, I'm open to discussion.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Next, we have Robert Eckelberger. He's not here?
Not here.
Okay, Carla Wilson, you are recognized. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you for your time coming to you from Winter Springs today. I would like to talk to you about cat declawing, which is illegal in multiple states and 6 states and multiple cities. Declawing is banned and considered unethical veterinarian practice in a vast number of countries as well. Why, you may ask? Declawing has serious implications for feline health and welfare. Declawing is considered an amputation. Declawing does not simply remove cats' nails, but involves multiple amputations removing bones as well as claws. Declawing can cause potential negative consequences for cats, which can lead to chronic pain, nerve damage, and a higher likelihood of behavioral problems like biting or avoiding the litter box, which are reasons why many cats end up in shelters. Humane World for Animals, formerly the Humane Society of the United States, the nation's largest animal protection organization, is against declawing, viewing it as an unnecessary and inhumane procedure.
Thank you.
I would like to see Seminole County and the state of Florida join a rapidly growing number of communities and states by taking a stand against this inhumane practice. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Brian Wilson, followed by Chris Pierce. And you are recognized, sir.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Representatives and Senators. I want to thank you for your past support of animal welfare legislation, and I'd like to bring forward 3 potential bills that could be coming forward this session. The first one is a minors bill. This will elevate taking minors to expose minors to animal cruelty, such as animal fighting. Currently, it's a level 1 felon. We'd like to see that raised up to a level 5 felon, so it has more serious consequences. Studies have shown children exposed to animal cruelty is both harmful to their development as well into their own potential animal cruelty that could be involved. The second one is to aid FWC and asking them to prohibit any special special acquisition licenses. We all saw the video of a manta ray being captured in the Gulf of America. This FWC has said that this capture was legal because of their licensing. We'd like to see any threatened or protected species be banned from that type of licensing. And the final one is also an FWC law enforcement rule that came through last year that got vetoed, the open fields law. We'd like to look deeper into open fields doctrine and why that was a bad bill. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And finally, Chris Pierce, you are recognized, sir.
Thank you, sir. It's great to be last, best for last. Right. I am a homeowner of 35 years in Seminole County. We tried to avoid the impact of the hurricanes that knocked out the grid for 2 weeks by putting up solar on our roof, and I've thought it was the best decision that I've made, one of the best decisions I've ever made, besides marrying my wife. And I'm come before you to ask that you protect and enhance rooftop solar for residents of Florida, especially with the Public Service Commission bill to reform Senate Bill 126. Ask you to support that. Thank you very much, and enjoy your lunch.
Thank you so much. We do have 7 that have submitted requests after time, and so we're going to unfortunately have to limit those to 30 seconds each. If you can please make your way. First, Art Gallo, followed by Tracy Blue and Susan Geller. Thank you, sir. You're recognized.
Afternoon, Art Gallo, resident of Winter Springs. I'm here to talk about the Governance Modernization Act. I'm totally opposed to it. I don't think it's doing what you say it's doing. You're not only telling us that we have to change our charter, but you're telling us what words to put in the charter. That's un-American. I don't even think it's in approval in accordance with your manual. You give 3 purposes for the bill. It doesn't meet any of the 3 because I don't have time to read them. But I'm requesting from the chair that you provide me a copy of the local bill certification form that you have to fill out that goes with this bill. The first step says the members of the local legislative delegation must certify that the purpose of the bill cannot be accomplished at the local level. You have to give say yes or no and give an explanation. I would like a copy of that, and I'd like you to prove why this meets your policies, because I don't think it does. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. If you can see my aide, Nicole, right there on the front row, we can talk with you. Oh, it doesn't? Okay. All right, there are no 30 seconds, so I'm going to have to call it here. Tracy Blue, you're recognized. Thank you.
Good morning, Seminole County Delegation. I'm Tracy Blue with Bright Community Trust. I'm here to speak on behalf of the Homeownership Opportunity Collective. You are receiving information now. It is an opportunity to create more homeowners in Central Florida. We are putting forth a legislative appropriation that I'm asking for your support for. This initiative covers Seminole, Orange, Osceola, and Lake counties, and it is designed to address the issues of affordable home ownership with strategies around policy, building and developing starter homes, preparing home buyers, and walking through the home buying process.
Thank you so much. We have to move along. And next we have Susan Geller. You're next, followed by Connie Edson and Janetta Bryant.
Good morning. I'm Susan Geller from Longwood, Florida. I'm not here to ask for any money. I'm asking to amend Florida Statute 21208, exempting all Florida prisoners of sales tax on commissary items. Commissary items, as negotiated with the Department of Correction, are at a significantly higher cost than other retail stores. The incarcerated cannot shop freely and are compelled to buy from institutional vendors as key fee. Not only are costs higher, but therefore the sales tax is higher. This would reduce financial hardship on inmates.
Thank you.
And or their families.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next we have Connie Edson, followed by Janetta Bryant and Audra Schumann.
Hi, everyone. Nice to see you back. I'm Connie Edson. As you all know, our Florida state prisons do not have air conditioning. This session, I'm proposing the before and after air conditioning pilot program through an appropriations to install split mini air units in 3 South Florida prisons, one of which currently has a lawsuit after 3 heat-related deaths. This pilot will improve safety, health, and well-being for staff and the incarcerated. It will reduce heat-related incidents and provide data on energy use. It's a practical step to save lives, improve working conditions, and guide statewide implementation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Janetta Bryant, you are recognized. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking time to hear me. My name is Janetta Bryant. I'm representing Abilities Workshop and the Dreamable Initiative, which is an appropriation request that Representative Smith and Senator Trunow have signed on to sponsor. This is in help with the special needs community. There are a lot of different initiatives where our special needs community has a request that's legitimate for help, right? But we have a tsunami of kids that are graduating and becoming adults and becoming even more reliant on our community. This is real quick. This initiative is just simply to help get information to the schools so that we can proactively get them over to the state resources that are already available. So,
thank you. Thank you so much. And you can also give information to our aides. Will be available to you. Next, we have Audra Schumann and James Evans. You're recognized.
Good morning. My name is Audra Schuckman, and I'm a parent at International Community School. Our school serves many children with unique abilities who thrive in a private hybrid environment. That's 3 days on campus and 2 days of teacher-directed learning at home. Because of how the current law is written and defines regular and direct contact, FESUA students cannot receive tuition reimbursement at private hybrid schools, while PEP students in the exact same classrooms learning from the exact same teachers can. Though House Bill 1403, gave PEP students granted the ability to use their scholarships at hybrid schools, Senate Bill 7030 was meant to correct it for FESUA, but it died in conference.
Thank you.
I'm deeply grateful to Senator Broder and all his help on this issue.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And finally, we have James Evans. James, you are recognized.
Good morning, representatives, and thank you for your time. I'm here specifically to discuss the Florida Tax Credit Scholarship, and frankly, how it's a poor choice for tax dollars. The first issue is that it's publicly funded taxpayer discrimination against children. Children just like my son, who has an IEP, who is not eligible for many private schools, should I even want to. The second is accountability. We know every student in the state of Florida, their efficiency, fluency, and achievement, and private schools are not held to the same accountability standard, and therefore our tax dollars are not to the same accountability.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, well, I'm a couple minutes over here. I apologize to the rest of the delegation here, but we'll close. I just want to start by saying thank you to Seminole County and, of course, the beautiful city of Sanford for allowing us to host here. Are there any last comments? Would you like to start?
I'm just happy to be here. It's an honor to serve with all of you, and I thank everyone for the comments, for the information, and I look forward to hearing from you again via email, telephone call. Feel free to reach me if there's anything you need. Thank you.
Yeah, just again, I think many of the people in the audience today, even though many folks have left, will pick up on the fact that you heard so many people mention the representative or the senator was running this appropriation and this appropriation. We're very active in trying to get our fair share of the state budget for Seminole County, and we're out there working for you, and we'll do that in 2026 in the legislative session too.
Just echo Representative Smith's comments. It's a pleasure to be on this delegation, and these folks work really, really hard for all of us locally, and happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday to Senator Broder's mother.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
78 years young.
Thank you all so much for coming. And as I mentioned at the beginning, whether we agree or disagree, this is such an important part of our process that your voices are heard. So thanks for coming. And just know that we're all available to you if you need to meet with us privately as well.
Yes, thank you. And upon that, this meeting is adjourned.
Good job.